A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
And now, the life of Mary Sothern. Before Mary's husband, Max Sanders, died, he predicted to Mary a new life of contentment and happiness, and promised not to leave her till she'd found the right road. Obsessed with the belief that Max is still with her, Mary left home in response to his bidding, and found shelter in Mrs. McPherson's boarding house in Craig's Falls, where she was befriended by a young man named David. Mary's friends and Sanders advertised widely for information about her, and David and his friend Father Brady notified Dr. John Benson of her whereabouts. Now John Benson has reached Craig's Falls, only to learn that Mary has disappeared from the boarding house. Believing that she has at last decided to return to Sanders, John sets out hastily to check the bus and railroad stations. But David and Father Brady plan to search for her in the city, convinced that she has not left Craig's Falls. It is half an hour later. While the three men continue to search for Mary in distant corners of the city, Mary has been strolling in a little park near the boarding house, trying to reach a decision. Now she is approaching the settlement house to seek advice from Father Brady.
John Benson here in Craig's Falls. All day yesterday I felt something was wrong. And David looked so unhappy yesterday. I think he was trying to warn me. Yes, I'm sure of it. He's the only one who understands, the only one who believes me when I say you're still with me, Max, darling. Speak to me, Max. You are still with me, aren't you?
I'm with you, Mary.
Oh, Max, I've been terribly frightened. I thought you'd gone.
Don't be frightened, Mary.
I won't be frightened, darling, if I know you're still with me. But I begin to have doubts when I don't hear your voice.
I won't leave you till the time comes when you don't need me any longer.
Till the time comes... But, Max, I'll always need you. Promise you won't leave me. You must promise.
I'll always be with you in your heart. You're on the right road, Mary. You're on the right road now.
It's right for me to stay here in Craig's Falls with David. Right for me to go into the settlement house now and ask Father Brady to send John away.
Your future lies here, Mary. Don't be afraid.
I'm not afraid now, Max, darling.
Mary, we've been looking everywhere for you. I'm so glad to see you, child.
Oh, Father Brady, I didn't see you.
Oh, we've been so worried about you, Mary. David and an old friend of yours will be so happy to know that you're safe.
An old friend? You mean John Benson?
Yes.
Then he is here.
Yes. Mary, won't you come inside? I'd like to talk to you before David and Dr. Benson come back.
I'd like to. Did John come to the boarding house to find me, Father?
He came here first. He was on his way there when Mrs. McPherson told us you had gone away. And she was sure that you weren't coming back.
She was right, Father. I meant to go away. I didn't know where I was going, but after I read the newspaper and saw that John and Daddy Stafford were trying to find me, I went...
Here we are. Now, suppose you sit down and be comfortable and tell me about it before David and Dr. Benson get here.
Thank you, Father.
Well, why did you want to run away? Was it because you were trying to avoid Dr. Benson?
Yes.
Do you distrust him, Mary? Is that the reason?
Distrust John? Oh, no. No, John's one of the finest men in the world. The most loyal thing a woman could ever have.
Then I don't quite understand. If you feel that way about him, why don't you want to see him, Mary?
Because he'll try to take me back to Sanders. I've been sitting in that little park thinking about Sanders and my friends ever since I saw that newspaper.
Then you do remember Sanders and your former life?
Why, of course. Only that life seems so far away that it's as if it had been another Mary Sothern who lived there. John and my other friends in Sanders don't seem real to me now. They're like shadowy creatures of another world. They're part of the past, and I can't turn back. Max told me not to.
A past that was associated with Max?
Yes. Max isn't in Sanders now. He's here in Craig's Falls with me. He wants me to stay here. And that's what John will never understand. Father Brady, please send John away. Won't you tell him I'm grateful for everything he's done, but I can't talk to him?
Mary, you don't mean that.
Oh, I don't want to hurt John, but he doesn't understand about Max, and I'm afraid to see him. You see, he thinks Max is dead. He'll tell me that as soon as he comes, and it hurts to hear him say that. You understand, don't you, Father Brady?
I understand that your husband will remain with you forever, in your heart.
Why, that's what Max told me just a few minutes ago. You see, when John talks to me and tells me Max is dead, I get frightened and I begin to have doubts.
Mary, you can't solve any problem by running away from it. You must face Dr. Benson, since he's come so far to see you.
Oh, why did he have to come back? I was so happy here. I've been so contented and peaceful, knowing that Max wanted me to stay here.
He came because I felt it my duty to send for him. David and I have identified you from your picture in the papers.
I understand. You had to do it.
Mary, I'm not quite sure that you do understand why David and I decided we had to call Dr. Benson immediately.
Well, what do you mean?
It was the offer of a reward for your recovery. There's no doubt that before long someone would have identified you and claimed the money. David and I wanted to spare your friends that.
I see. John and Daddy Stratford can't afford to lose $500.
And that's why David agreed to my suggestion that we call Dr. Benson. Because some scrupulous person might have demanded the $500 or more.
I'm ashamed of myself, Father. I haven't thought of anyone but Max and myself and David. You're right. I must talk to John and try to thank him for all he's done. Father Brady, will you tell me just one thing before John comes?
Surely, Mary, if I can.
It's about David. He doesn't want me to go away, does he?
No, Mary. Quite honestly, he doesn't.
I was sure he didn't.
Father Brady.
It's John.
Steady, Mary. Come in, Dr. Benson.
Have you found any...
Hello, John.
Mary, my dear, it's you.
John, I'm sorry I've worried you so.
If you two will excuse me,
Father Brady, please don't go.
You and Dr. Benson can talk more freely alone. I'll be back later, Mary.
I want to see you before we leave, and thank you again for having taken such good care of Mary. Mary, dear, I can't quite believe it.
John, dear, I didn't know till yesterday when I saw the newspaper that you and Daddy Stratford were so worried about me. I told Daddy I'd be safe, that I'd be with Max.
Don't talk for a minute, Mary. I just want to look at you. I've forgotten how blue your eyes are. How beautiful.
You and Daddy Stratford shouldn't have offered the reward, John. Suppose someone else had recognized me and phoned you before Father Brady and David did. You'd have lost that $500.
I'm grateful to this David Drake for refusing to accept the money. But we'd have paid it willingly to find you.
Oh, I knew you would, John.
Don't let's talk about money. It's so unimportant. Nothing matters now that I found you. Now that I know you're safe.
But why didn't Daddy believe me when I said Max was with me? I tried to make him understand. And you too, John, but you wouldn't. It was foolish of you to worry about me.
A man can't help worrying about the woman he loves.
I wish you hadn't said that, John. I'm fond of you, but
I'm sorry. It slipped out. It's been a strain of these past 2 weeks. Worrying, searching, not finding any trace of you. I've always known I loved you, but I never knew what loving a woman really meant till I thought I'd lost you forever.
I'm terribly sorry, John.
Mary, why didn't you come home or send us a note telling us you were safe?
Oh, I don't know. You see, I came here because Max told me to, and I didn't want to remember Sanders. It hurts just thinking of it.
Of course, I understand. Sanders was too closely identified with poor Max and his death.
I told Father Brady you'd try to tell me that Max is dead. That's what you and Daddy Stratford won't understand. Only David understands. Well, where is David?
I don't know. Out somewhere looking for you. I think you have reason to be grateful to this young man and to Father Brady. I want to thank them properly before we leave.
Before we leave?
Yes. Say, wait till Daddy Stratford sees you. He'll turn handsprings all over the hotel. And Phyllis and Daddy Stratford's been laid up in bed with a severe cold.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's been sick.
Oh, he's much better today. And the sight of you will cure him completely. Say, I have an idea. If we start now, we could be home in time to have a late dinner with Daddy and Phyllis and Danny.
John, I'm not going back to Sanders. I'm never going back.
You'll feel differently when you get there, Mary, and find all your friends waiting to welcome you.
I'll never feel differently. I'm not going back. I tell you can't make me. I'm staying.
Mary, dear, you'll be glad to see Sanders again once you get there. I know the whole town is on happy associations for you because of Max. But you have so many friends there anxious to help you.
They can't help me. And you can't help me either because you don't understand. You won't understand. But David does. That's why Max told me to come here.
Mary.
No, don't touch me. Don't come near me. No, why doesn't David come back? Where is he? I must talk to him. John, if you want to help me, please find David and tell him I need him. He's the only one who understands.
So John Benson finds Mary after 2 anxious weeks, only to have her turn from him with an anguished appeal for another man.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you all know, this is the month of March. And as I mentioned before, we're broadcasting from Marchfield. So here we are at Marchfield in the month of March.
Now, isn't that clever? Get it, fellas? Marchfield, month of March. It took 4 writers to think of that. Go ahead, Don.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, as you all know, March is the month that comes in like a lion.
That's enough, Sergeant. Sit down. Sit down.
Yes, folks, it comes in like a lion and goes out like a lamb.
Thank you, Lieutenant. Lie down, Bob.
We can't bring you a lamb or a lion, but we can bring you an elk. And here he is, Jack Benny.
Thank you. Hello again. This is Jack Benny talking. And Don, I don't happen to belong to the Elks. This tooth I'm wearing on my watch chain is a souvenir of the First World War. An MP gave it to me.
An MP gave it to you?
Yes, one night I talked back to him, and he just happened to bump his knuckle on my tooth as he pulled his fist out of my mouth. He handed me my tonsils, too, but they didn't fit on my chain.
Now, wait a minute, Jack. An MP can arrest you, but he has no right to jam his fist in your mouth.
Don't worry, Don. I got even with him.
What'd you do?
I swallowed his flashlight.
Oh.
For the next 3 months, every time I sat down, my eyes lit up. I was the only guy that could read in bed after 9 o'clock. But let's not talk about the after... Oh, hello, Mary.
Hello, Bright Eyes. Hiya, fellas.
Well, Mary, how do you like it here?
Fine. I always enjoy visiting a naval base.
Mary, Marchfield isn't a naval base.
It is during the rainy season, brother.
Oh, yes. Hey, you know, fellas, we had that joke 5 years, but during the war, they wouldn't let us discuss weather conditions. For 5 long years, nobody knew it rained in California.
That's right. Rain is back and California's got it.
You said it.
Say, Jack, I meant to ask you going to take me to the dance tonight at the Officers Club?
Wait a minute, Mary. What about the date you've got with Colonel Coon? You know, you told me that at 8 o'clock tonight he was going to take a jet-propelled plane and fly all the way to New York and back. Isn't that right?
Yeah, but what am I going to do the rest of the evening?
Oh, yes. Hey, those planes really go fast, huh?
Fast? Yesterday, when one of those jet planes was getting ready to fly east, the crew chief said ready, the pilot said okay, and between O and K, he landed in Chicago.
You know, fellas, we wrote that joke 5 years ago, but they didn't have jet planes then. They got them now, though. About a month ago, one of those planes flew from Los Angeles to San Diego in 10 minutes and 17 seconds.
Gosh, that's almost as fast as the Riverside bus.
Yeah. Certainly is, huh?
You know, Jack, I've been reading up on those new planes. They're going to have a lot of these jet-propelled P-80s in the AAF.
AAF?
Yes, the Army Air Forces.
Oh.
What are you laughing at, Mary?
Jack's a P50 VPP.
P50 VPP.
Past 50, vitamin pill propelled.
We wrote that 5 years ago. I was only 32 at the time. Yes, sir. And don't be so funny because...
Hiya, fellas. That Jackson is great, but here comes Harris like a P38.
Well, if it isn't our own little grassy acres over there.
Grassy acres?
Yes, Phil, that's a spot here in camp that's just like you. It's green, pretty, and useless.
Oh, I'm not so green. I know what's going on. I'm Hep. I ain't no paddlefoot.
Paddlefoot? What's that?
Well, that's an officer that commands an LSD.
LSD?
Large steel desk.
Oh, yes. The top of the desk is a landing strip for their feet.
Yeah. Say, Jackson, you're pretty sharp today.
You would be, too, if you'd get here for rehearsal.
What are you talking about?
Mary and I stopped in Riverside, and we saw you coming out of the Chi-Chi bar.
What did you say the name of that place was?
Chi-Chi.
Oh, bless you. I thought I was seeing double.
Well, for you, that isn't hard, you know. Anyway, Phil, we'll forget about that. Now, here we are at Marchfield, so let's show the boys we're glad we came down.
Well, you're right, Jackson. There's something about this place that really gets into you, especially when the wind blows.
What?
It gets in your shoes, gets in your hair, gets in your ears.
I know.
Well, I wrote that joke 5 years ago.
And it still fits. I know, yeah. Maybe so, Phil, but in spite of that, Marchfield is a great place, and the boys are very happy here. That's because there are so many things to do.
You're right, Jack. There are a lot of things for the boys to do, but there's only one trouble.
What's that, Mary?
If you like it, it's out of bounds.
Well, they have to have rules, Mary. After all, there's some important training going on here.
Important training?
Certainly, Phil. Haven't you seen the fellows here take these jet planes up and zoom and dive and roll and spin? That goes on for 3 months.
What happens after that, Jackson?
They get a license to drive a car in California. Hey, I'm really hot today. You see, Phil, if you'd come to rehearsal, you'd... That's funny.
Well, what's the matter, Jack?
Look, that soldier sitting there in the front row. He hasn't laughed once through the entire show.
Maybe he's a spy for Fred Allen.
No, he hasn't got him in uniform yet. I'm going to find out what's bothering that fella. Hey, soldier. Hey, private. You there in the front row.
Me?
Yes, you. Come up here on the stage a minute. Phil, give him a hand, will you?
Okay.
That's it. Now, step right over here.
Yes, sir.
Look, soldier, I've been watching you all through the show, and you haven't as much as smiled once. I'm curious to know why you're so sad.
Well...
Yes?
Why shouldn't I be sad? Today...
Yes?
Today they're going to give me my discharge.
What?
Today they're taking away my uniform and sending me home.
No, I know how you feel, but try and cheer up.
Well, that's right, soldier. It isn't so bad going home. Lots of soldiers like it. They force themselves.
Well, I'll bet you'll forget all about Marchfield in a few days.
What? Me forget about the wonderful times I've had here? All the fun I've had living in those beautiful barracks? Forget about the wonderful weather which kept me so nice and cool in the winter that I didn't thaw out till the sun fried me in August? You expect me to forget about the lovely dust storms I've enjoyed here?
Soldier!
No other dust in the country is as healthy as this dust.
Now, Private...
You expect me to forget about our cute little mess hall with 800 or 900 friends blowing in my soup?
Soldier, please.
You expect me to forget all those guys who were so sweet to me? My buddies, the lieutenants, the captains, the majors?
Soldier, take it easy. You got this thing all wrong. They don't just turn you out like that. They give you a button. You'll be proud of it. A beautiful bronze button.
But you can't buy any clothes. Where am I going to wear it?
Now, soldier, don't you worry about clothes. Things aren't as bad as you think they are. Yeah, you see me after the show, and we'll have a little talk.
Oh, Jack, you're not going to sell him your suit.
Mary, he can have his choice. I brought 5 of them with me. I'll talk to you after the program, soldier. Now, sit down and cheer up. All right, Phil, let's have a band number, and then we'll... I'll get it. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Benny. This is Rochester.
Rochester, where are you? You should have been here an hour ago.
It isn't my fault, boss. I went off the road and got lost.
But where are you now?
A farmhouse.
Well, ask the farmer how to get to March Field.
The farmer isn't here.
Well, who is there?
The farmer's daughter, a soldier, and an MP.
MP, military police?
No, a minister from Pomona.
Oh, well, offer them my congratulations and come on out here.
Okay.
Now, remember, when you get to Riverside, you go through town, then turn right, and Marchfield is just 8 miles ahead. Now, leave the farmhouse right away and get out here.
But, boss, I can't leave till after the wedding.
Till after the wedding? Why not?
They're giving me a pound of butter to sing "Oh, Promise Me."
Oh, well, give them 2 fast choruses and get out here. I'm waiting for you.
Okay.
What's the matter, Jack?
Something always... That was Personality, played by Phil Harris, and his Makes You Want to Be Transferred to Muroc Orchestra. What a band. And now, folks...
There he goes again. There he goes picking on the band. Livy, tell Jackson to lay off.
Phil's right, Jack. His boys may not be great musicians, but at least they're gentlemen.
Mary, just because they tip their hats when they pass the pool room doesn't mean they're gentlemen. Now, let's forget it.
Well, I'm not forgetting it, Jackson. My boys don't like that stuff. They're sensitive. The things you said about them at rehearsal made them cry.
Made them cry?
Yeah, they may look like that they're tough and they ain't got no feelings, but they'll cry at the drop of a bottle.
Only if it breaks, believe me. And the least you can do is tell Frankie, your guitar player, to do something about his appearance. That hair of his. The way it stands up, he looks like he was pardoned after they threw the switch. Now, let's get on. Come in. Yes?
Pardon me for interrupting your program, Mr. Benny, but there's a soldier here who's being discharged, and it's time for him to go home.
Oh, yes, Colonel. I was talking to him before. There he is in the front row.
Oh, yes. Come on, son. It's time to go home.
No, not yet. I don't want to go yet. Please don't make me go.
But, son, the limousine is waiting, and the chauffeur will drive you all the way home.
I don't care. I don't want to go yet.
But, son, we let you stay here for most of the program.
I know, but I don't want to leave until I hear the commercial.
Well, bless his little heart. Don, let him hear the commercial. We don't want to keep the limousine waiting.
Okay. LSMFT, Lucky Strike means fine tobacco.
Oh, that's it, but not so fast. I want to enjoy it longer.
Yeah, take it easy, darling.
Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. So round, so firm, so fully packed, so free and easy on the draw.
There you are.
No, don't stop yet. Tell me more. I want to hear it. Please.
Go ahead, Don. Tell him more, kid.
All right. Lucky Strikes are made of the finer, the lighter, the naturally milder tobaccos. Yes, sir, you bet. For real deep-down smoking enjoyment, smoke that smoke of fine tobacco, Lucky Strike.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Wilson. I'll go now. I'll go. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Very much, Colonel.
Well, thank you, Mr. Benny. Now, just go right ahead with your program.
You know, kids, I was thinking, I'll bet a lot of people listen to our program just to hear the commercials.
My mother only listens to the commercials and my singing.
Oh, hello, Dennis. I didn't see you come in. What was that you said before, Dennis?
I said my mother thinks the only good parts on the show are the commercials and my singing.
She does, huh?
Yeah. She thinks you're the worst comedian on the air.
Oh, she does, huh?
Yeah. She thinks you're awful.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. When you say hello again, she gets sick to her stomach.
Now, wait a minute. I've always had trouble with your mother. When you first came to work for me, she came down to the studio and tried to make a big fuss. But she didn't scare me.
Well, you better stay away from her now, Mr. Benny.
Why?
She took boxing lessons from Ingrid Bergman.
All I know is your mother never did like me. Mary's mother hates me, too.
Oh, Jack, my mother does not hate you.
She does, too.
She does not.
Then why, Mary? Tell me, why does she go around telling everybody that I'm the cheapest guy in the world?
Because you are.
Oh. Well, she's lucky I am, or I'd sue her for everything she's got. Believe me.
Anyway, Mr. Benny, whether my mother likes you or not, I'm glad I'm back with you since I got out of the Navy.
Well, thanks,
And I like
kid.
the suit you sold me, too.
It's all right, kid.
But gee, Mr. Benny, I never saw pants before with the pleats in the back.
Let's see, Dennis, you got the pants on backwards.
Oh, I guess I was in the Navy too long.
That's probably it. Say, Dennis, now that you're here, how about having... Oh, my goodness, that's Rochester. He's probably lost again. Mary, you answer it, will you?
Okay. Hello?
Hello, is my daddy there?
Your daddy? Oh, is this Phil Harris's little girl?
Uh-huh. Is this Mr. Benny's little girl?
No. No, this is Miss Livingston. You know, honey, I saw your mother yesterday at the beauty parlor. Gosh, she certainly is pretty.
You think she's prettier than my daddy?
Well, yes, I do.
Me too, but don't tell Daddy.
Well, don't worry. I'll keep it a secret. Just a minute, I'll call your daddy. Your daughter's on the phone, beautiful.
Okay. Hello, baby.
Hello, Daddy. You know what tomorrow is?
Tomorrow? No, what is it?
It's Mommy's birthday.
Oh, my goodness, that's right, and I didn't buy a thing for her.
Gee, Daddy, you're in a mess. You want me to leave the back door unlocked for you again?
No, honey. I'll get her something this afternoon. Look, what do you think Mommy would like for a birthday present?
Well, let's see. Why don't you get her a green dress to match the pool table you gave her for Christmas?
No, baby. You're all mixed up. She gave that to me.
Oh, Daddy, I'm writing Mommy a birthday card, and I got stuck. How do you spell birthday?
Well, how far have you gotten?
I just got B-I.
Well, it's B-I, look, just leave it that way. Mommy will figure it out.
Gosh, I thought you know how to spell it.
Well, certainly I know how to spell it, but I'm busy, honey. We're right in the middle of a program, and you ought to know that I haven't got time to fool with that stuff.
Hey, Daddy, you're so cute when you're mad.
Yeah. Hey, Jackson, how do you spell birthday?
B-I-R-T-H-D-A-Y.
Honey, it's B-I-R-T-H-D-A-Y.
Thanks, Daddy. And thank Mr. Benny, too. Bye.
Bye.
Phil, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Imagine not knowing how to spell birthday.
Well, I know how to spell it, but you forget from year to year.
Now, Dennis, as I was telling you before, when you do your song, I'm going to... Oh, for heaven's sake, nothing but interruptions. I'll take it. Hello?
Hello, boss, it's me.
Oh, my goodness. Where are you now?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Oh, for heaven's sake, don't tell me you're lost again.
Boss, I found roads that even Hope and Crosby don't know about.
What?
I passed you told me it twice.
Roger, have you any idea where you are now?
Wait till I look at the sign.
What does it say?
From the cradle to the grave, always use barber shave.
I don't mean that. Now, Rochester, listen carefully. Come back to Riverside. Then go through the town, turn to the right, and you can't miss March Field.
Who can't?
You can't. Rochester, look, just ask somebody. Ask anybody how to get there.
Wait a minute, boss. A soldier just came in to use the phone. I'll ask him.
Okay.
Say, soldier, how do you get to Marchfield?
Marchfield, they're taking me away from there. I want to go back. Please.
What's going on there?
It's no use, boss. I'll have to find it myself.
Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Dennis Day will sing a song written by Frank Lesser and dedicated to the memory of one of America's greatest war heroes, Roger Young. That an entire company of his comrades would be spared shell fire from the enemy. Roger Young was just an ordinary guy before he enlisted, and in the Army he was just a private. But he was a hero, and he died a hero's death In death, songs have been written about him. Ballparks and boulevards have been named in his honor. Alive, however, Roger Young would be just another GI, looking for a place to live, like most of his buddies. So it is only fitting and proper that one of the first of the many veterans' emergency housing projects to be completed is Roger Young Village, which will open on April 27th in Griffith Park, Los Angeles. Let us hope that naming this series of Quonset huts Roger Young Village will serve as a reminder that the boys are home now, and they must have the things in life that Roger Young and his comrades fought and died for.
Shine the name, Roger Young, on died for the men he must know. The everlasting glory of the lives the story of Private Roger Young.
Jack will be back in just a minute, but first here is my good friend L.A. Speed Riggs. Remember this all-important fact.
Thank all the officers and men stationed here at Marshfield for inviting us down here today. Had a swell time. And say, Mary,
What, Jack?
you know who's going to be our guest star next week? The MGM star, Van Johnson. Gee, I hope we bring her, too, by next Sunday. Good night, folks. Good night.
Good health to all from Rexall. Yes, it's Sunday, time for the Bill Harris Alice Faye Show, presented by the makers of Rexall Drug Products and your Rexall family druggist. Good evening. This is your Rexall family druggist, taking a little time from behind the prescription counter this Sunday evening to speak for all 10,000 of us. The 10,000 independent druggists who have added the word Rexall to our own store names. You can always tell us by the orange and blue Rexall sign on our windows. The sign means that we carry the 2,000 or more drug products made by the Rexall Drug Company. They range all the way from aspirin to penicillin. And they're as fine and pure and dependable as science can make them. We independent druggists recommend them to our customers because we know you can depend on any drug product that bears the name Rexall. Good health to all from Rexall. And now your Rexall family druggist brings you the Bill Harris Alice Faye Show, written by Ray Singer and Dick Chevrolet, with Elliot Lewis, Walter Tetley, Janine Roos, Ann Whitfield, Walter Sharp and his music, yours truly, Bill Foreman, and starring Alice Faye and Phil Harris. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day, and like most women, Alice is sentimental about the occasion. On the other hand, Phil, like most married men, has been inclined to forget how much the day means to a woman. This year, Alice is making sure that Phil will remember by plotting a little strategy with the children.
Now, look, girls, when Daddy comes down to breakfast, just remind him that tomorrow is Valentine's Day. This year, I want to make sure he buys me a present. Oh, I'll get it. Now, listen. Don't let Daddy know that I mentioned anything to you.
Okay, Mommy. Phyllis, we've got to be careful when we talk to Daddy. We mustn't let him know that we're...
Hey, where is everybody? Ooh, I'm still asleep. Can't get my eyes open.
Good morning, Daddy. Do you know what day tomorrow is?
Tomorrow? Take it slow, kids. Let me get used to today first.
Daddy, tomorrow is an important day. It's February the 14th.
It is? Already? Certainly creeps up on you, don't it?
Then you didn't forget it.
Of course not. How could I forget the opening day of National Cheese Week?
It isn't that, Daddy. We'll give you a hint. It's VALENTINE Day.
No.
Yes. Are you going to buy Mommy a present?
I'm supposed to buy her a present for Groundhog Day?
I must have spelled it wrong. Daddy, tomorrow is Valentine's Day.
Oh, of course. I knew it all the time. How could I forget a day like that?
Did you buy Mommy a present?
Well, I'm going to. As soon as I have my breakfast, I'm going down and get her...
Phil, they just came.
Well, isn't that nice? What just came?
A dozen nasturtiums.
Good. Dip them in butter and saute them. I love fish for breakfast.
Silly, they're flowers. They just arrived, and listen to the card that's with them. To my Valentine, with your limpid eyes and turned-up nose, you have the freshness of a rose. Your lovely hair and smile so sweet is a combination that's hard to beat. Signed, guess who? Oh, I think that's a beautiful sentiment.
So do I. I wonder who could have sent me them flowers.
Phil, stop kidding. The flowers are for me, and you sent them, didn't you?
Well, naturally. Of course. Who else would send them?
Oh, Phil, how come you remembered Valentine's Day this year?
How could I forget it, little mud? You know, honey, I'm lucky to have someone like you to send a Valentine to. You know, a lot of other guys don't have anyone. Like Frankie. Now, there's a poor guy
That reminds me, Phil. Frankie called this morning.
You know something? I haven't heard from him since he lost a job with a band last week. Did he say what he was doing, honey?
No, he didn't.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I ain't worried about Remley. He's a very clever guy. Losing his job as a musician will give him a chance to really do bigger things. You know, he's the kind of a guy who will be a big success. I'll get it out.
Hey, pal, would you like to buy some shoelaces?
Look, come on in here, will you? You selling shoelaces?
Also razor blades, violets. Genuine imported Argyle socks, 15 cents a pair.
Remley, what are you doing?
Making a living. You fired me. I got to do something. You got any scissors you want sharpened or... If there's anything you want, I can get it.
I don't want anything.
How would you like to be number 2 on a pyramid list?
Remley, I just got up. I haven't got my eyes open. Will you please cut it out? Let's just keep it quiet for a minute, will you? Going around selling things like this. You don't have to do that. Why, with your brains and talent, you could be what... Well, you could certainly be... I'll take 2 pair of the shoelaces. The orange ones. Remley, I never thought I'd see the day that you'd be doing this.
You're the one who fired me. It's all your fault. You made me what I am. I hope you're satisfied.
What's that for?
I sing for pennies, too.
Look, Remley, I told you that I didn't fire you. The sponsor did.
There must have been something you could have done to save my job.
I tried to, but the sponsor insisted. He said if I didn't fire you, he'd fire me.
He gave you an alternative. Why didn't you take it? The least you could have done for your sickly friend.
Oh, Frank. I didn't know you were sick. Well, look, kid. If there's anything I can do for you, anything I can give you, just say the word. Everything I got is yours.
No charity, please. All I want is my job back. All I ask for is my birthright. As an American. The chance to make a living. To walk in the sun again. To feel the wind in my hair. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Are you finished, Camille? Look, so you lost your job. Why don't you be a man instead of trying to get sympathy from people?
I'm not trying to get sympathy from anybody. I can't help it if I'm sickly because I haven't eaten for 3 days.
You haven't what?
I haven't eaten.
Now, don't come in here telling me that...
Who's that at the door? Oh, hello, Frankie.
Gad, she looks well fed. Buy some violets for the lady, mister? Give me a few pennies for food.
Oh, Frankie, if you're hungry, I'll cook something for you.
I can't wait that long. Just give me the scraps from the breakfast table.
Pay no attention to him, honey.
You stay out of this, Curly. Alice, I tell you, I'm starved.
Well, I'll get you something to eat right now. And I'll see who it is.
Flowers for Mrs. Harris.
Oh, thank you. Oh, Phil. More flowers, and this time you sent American Beauties.
I did?
Honey, you know you did. The card is signed Guess Who again. Oh, darling, it's so sweet of you to do this.
About the food.
Don't mention it, Alice. You know, you're a sweetheart, and I love to get things for you.
About the food.
Oh, I'm the luckiest girl in the world to have a husband like you.
Food. And I'm even luckier to have a wife like you. Oh.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Well, I love getting it
but it's
for
so
you.
sweet.
Well, you should have
well,
it.
You make me so happy.
London Fontaine. Can't we do this later? I'm hungry.
Remley, will you stop already?
Oh, let him talk, Phil. Nothing he says can bother me today. I'm too happy. Flies in the buttermilk, shoo, shoo, shoo. Flies in the buttermilk, shoo, shoo, shoo. Lost my partner, what'll I do? Lost my partner, what'll I do? Lost my partner, what'll I do? Skip to Maloo, my darling.
Lulu, skip to Maloo. Lulu, skip to Maloo. Lulu, skip to Maloo. Skip to Maloo, my darling.
I'll get another one prettier than you. I'll get another one prettier than you. I'll get another one prettier than you. Skip to Maloo, my darling.
Lulu, skip to Maloo. Lulu, skip to Maloo. Lulu, skip to Maloo. Skip to Maloo, my darling.
Can't get a red bird, a bluebird'll do. Can't get a red bird, a bluebird'll do. Can't get a red bird, a bluebird'll do. Skip to Maloo, my darling.
Lulu, skip to Maloo. Lulu, skip to Maloo. Lulu, skip to Maloo. Skip to Maloo, my darling.
Little red wagon painted blue.
Skip to Maloo, my darling.
Fly in the sugar bowl, shoo, fly, shoo.
Skip to Maloo, my darling.
Gone again, what'll I do?
Flies in the sugar bowl, shoo, fly, shoo.
Cows in the cornfield, 2 by 2.
Flies in the buttermilk, shoo, fly, shoo.
One
old boot and a run-down shoe. Lost my partner.
Oh, what'll I do?
Lost my partner.
What'll I do?
Lost my partner.
What'll I do?
Skip to Maloo, my darling. Lulu, skip to Maloo. Lulu, skip to Maloo. Lulu, skip to Maloo. Skip to Maloo. My darling.
Fine thing. I'm starving and she sings.
Oh, I'm sorry, Frankie. I'll go get you something to eat right now. And Phil, honey, thanks again for the flowers.
That's okay, Mud. That's okay.
Hey, Curly, how come you're sending flowers to Alice? What have you been up to that I've been left out of? Want to do that again?
Might as well try it once more. We're over anyway. You're headed for another network, Clyde. Have one more go at it.
What have you been up to that I've been left out of?
I haven't been up to nothing. Keep this up, we'll both be headed for another. Look, the flowers are for Valentine's Day, but I didn't send them.
What's she thanking you for?
She just thinks I sent them. Isn't it wonderful? Some other guy's sending flowers to my wife, and I'm getting all the credit. I'm getting.
Yeah, aren't you?
Hey, Frankie, now, just a second. We both know that there's not another man in Alice's life, so let's just forget it.
Okay. Got any idea who the guy can be?
I keep telling you there's no other man. Hey, wait a minute. I know.
What?
Hey, Alice is sending the flowers to herself just to make me jealous. Sure. That's a solution, isn't it, Frankie?
I still like the other man angle. Has more exciting possibilities.
Frankie, why should Alice be interested in another guy?
Let's be brutally frank, shall we? You're starting to show your age. Your eyes aren't as bright as they used to be. Your cheeks have lost their color. Your complexion is sallow. And you've got a few wrinkles showing.
That's irreverent. And besides, I haven't changed a bit. My eyes still have the deep blue of two succulent grapes. There are apples in my cheeks, and my complexion is that of a peach.
Well, skip to Malou. You still got wrinkles.
Them ain't wrinkles. Them are irrigation ditches to water all that fruit.
I don't get it. He comes up with things like that, and I'm the one that gets fired.
Remley, will you do me a favor? Let's just forget about the flowers. I don't know who's sending them, but come in.
Here you are, Bud. Flowers for Mrs. Phil Harris.
More flowers? Hey, wait a minute, kid. Come back. I want to find out. More flowers. Yeah. Hey, Remley, look at this card. It's from Guess Who again.
Beautiful floral, Pete. One thing about your rival, he ain't cheap.
I keep telling you there's no rival. Now, what...
Who rang the bell? Oh, Phil, more flowers. And it's a plant this time. Well, it's a variegated philodendron.
You said it. I'm glad you said it, because I wouldn't touch that kid with a fork.
It's very thoughtful of you to send me all these flowers.
That's all right, Alice. Hey, I just had a silly thought. You know, I sent all these flowers, but wouldn't it be funny if Guess Who were some other guy?
Oh, nonsense, Phil. Who else could they be from?
That's right. There isn't any other man you know who'd be sending you flowers, is there?
No. Unless they're from Johnny, Bruce, Terry, Kenneth, Al, Harold, Andy, Paul, Harry, Walter, George, Sam...
Hold it!
Nanny, Mo, and Jack.
What'd you do, get hold of an army roll call? Who are all those guys?
Oh, they're just a few of the boys I went out with before I was married. See you later, Phil.
That does it, Remley.
Yeah?
We're going down to the florist shop and find out what guy is sending those flowers.
Mm-hmm.
I'll find out who's sending them. Alice thinks she's smart, rattling off all them names, Mandy, Mo, and Mac. I wonder what she'd say if I told her about Minnie.
Minnie? Well.
Watch your blood pressure. It's just a dream I had last night. Last night, I dreamed that I was down in the bottom of the sea, down in that salty water. And I'm in a maiden fair who had a cottage there. It was a little FHA job, but anyway, we had it. She had a tail of a fish for a train, but whoa, now, whoa, how that gal could entertain. And what a time I had with Minnie, the mermaid, down in the bottom of the sea. I lost all my troubles in amongst the bubbles. Why, she was just as sweet as she could be. And every night when the starfish came out, I hugged and kissed her so. Whoa, whoa, what a time I had with Minnie, the mermaid, down in her seaweed bungalow. Low, down in her seaweed bungalow. Ouch, what a time I had with Minnie, the mermaid, down in the bottom of the sea. I lost all my troubles in amongst the bubbles, why she was just as sweet as she could be. And every night when the starfish came out, I hugged and kissed her so. Whoa, whoa, what a time I had with Minnie, the mermaid, down in her seaweed bungalow. Low, down in her seaweed bungalow. And I sing with delight as I spend most the night 'neath that billowy ocean with you. Many brave hearts are asleep in the deep, so beware. Beware. You know something, Remley? I'm getting madder every minute. If I find the guy who's sending flowers to my wife, You'll what, I'll punch him in the nose, that's what. I'll break every bone in his body. I'll throttle him with my bare hands.
Tell me more, you magnificent brute, you.
Now, there's the floral shop. Listen.
Hey, Curly, look who's about to go in. Julius.
Julius?
Yeah.
Well, there's your solution right there, that little character. That's who's doing it. I'll bet he's the guy. He's always calling Alice soulmate. Goodbye, dreamboat. I'll fix him. I'll tear him limb from limb.
Oh, wait a minute, Curly. Julius is only a kid. He can't be the one who's sending the flowers. He's the wrong guy.
Who cares? Can you think of anybody better to tear limb from limb?
Yeah, it might be fun at that. Let's ask him anyway.
Wait a minute. I'll take care of that.
Hey, Julius.
Well, when did they let you guys out of the snake pit?
Happy today, huh, kid? Look, you've been sending flowers to my house today?
Yeah, I sent a plant, but I guess you didn't get it yet.
Yeah, I got it. I got it all right.
You did? Can't understand it.
You can't understand what?
How come you didn't break out with poison ivy yet?
Look, kid, all I want to know is, did you send any flowers to my wife? Well, answer me. Did you?
Hit me in the head! Want to make me stupid or something? I didn't send nothing to nobody.
Oh, no? Well, I'll tell you something. We're going to find out right now, and you're going with me. We're going in that floor shop and ask who's been sending them. Come on in.
Come on, Julius.
All right, stop dragging me, you guys. I'm coming.
Oh, Mr. Harris.
Oh, hello, Mr. Miller. I'd like to ask you something.
I'll be with you in a minute. I want to finish waiting on that gentleman there. Is there anything else, sir?
No, gladiolas, asters, and roses will be enough.
Very well. I'll take him to the back room and arrange.
By the way, put a card in for me and just say, to my beautiful Valentine, and sign it, Guess Who.
All right.
Guess who? Did you hear that, Curly? It ain't Julius. Guess who's that guy over there?
You mean that big, brawny hunk of a bruiser there?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Frankie, you must be mistaken.
Why?
Well, he's too big and muscular to be sending flowers to Alice. Let's look for a smaller guy. Let's get back to Julius. It's safer.
Now, Curly, stop stalling. That big guy must be the one. You said when you found him you were going to throttle him. Well, go ahead. Start throttling.
But, Frankie, I'm trying to tell you he's much bigger than I am.
Don't worry. I'll help you.
Will?
Sure. I'll give you a boost so you can reach his throat.
Mr. Lindley's right. If you're a man, you'll stop picking on little men and take care of that guy. Go on, ask him if he's the one who sent the flowers to your wife.
All right. But let's be careful not to offend the gentleman. He may be the wrong person. Pardon me, sir.
Yes?
Are you sending flowers to somebody?
What was that?
You heard him. He said, who are you sending flowers to?
Stop that lipping. mister. We just want to know if you're sending flowers to your mother or grandmother, maiden aunt, maybe.
It's none of your business, but I'm sending them to my wife.
See? It's a mistake, fellas. He's sending them to his wife.
His wife? A likely story. Hey, you. Your wife happens to be the woman Curly's in love with.
He's in love with my... Oh, a fresh guy. I got a good mind to punch you right in the eye.
We like to see you try it.
Hey, what you're asking for it?
Who's asking?
No, let him bulldoze you, Mr. Harris. Stand up to him. It won't be for long.
I didn't want any trouble with you. Just apologize for saying you're in love with my wife, and I won't hit you.
Why should he apologize? Mr. Harris got a right to be in love with your wife. He's married to her, and she's the mother of his 2 children.
That does it.
Oh, my eye.
Oh, what a shiner.
I've seen better. I bet he could improve on it if he tried. Hit him in the other eye, mister.
Hey, kid, you better keep out of this before I get real mad. Nobody's going to say anything about my wife and get away with it.
Your wife's a lady.
Julia! Look, mister, pay no attention to him. He's just saying that. Your wife ain't no lady.
He ain't.
Oh, my other eye.
Look at those 2 black eyes.
Oh, what are you laughing at? What's so funny?
You look like a curly-headed raccoon. Don't you stand there, mister. Hit him again.
Julius, cut it out now. I ran out of eyes. Julius, don't be so bloodthirsty. Tell King Kong I don't even know his wife. Tell him it's a mistake.
All right, mister, this is all a mistake. Mr. Harris ain't in love with your wife.
He ain't?
No, but Mr. Remley is.
Wait a minute, mister. I wouldn't go out with your wife. I've never seen her. I'm the homie type. It's all a gag.
What did you say?
He said he wouldn't be seen with your wife because she's a homely old hag.
Could have sworn I said something else.
Well, it's not you too, but I don't dare.
Why not?
If I ever hit this punk, I'll kill him.
Talk is cheap. Prove it.
What are you, a talent scout for Forrest Long?
Look, you guys, I warned you. If you ever make another crack about my wife, I'll knock your roof in. Goodbye.
You and who else?
Oh, I'm glad that guy's gone. 2 black eyes, and I didn't
I'm sorry to keep you waiting, Mr. Harris, but Mr. Harris, your mascara's running.
Don't be a wise florist. I just came in here because somebody's been sending flowers to my wife all day, and I want to find out who the jerk is.
Mr. Harris, surely you must know who's sending the flowers. Don't you remember?
Remember what?
You wanted to be sure you wouldn't forget Valentine's Day, so last year you left a standing order for me to send flowers every hour on Valentine's Day.
You mean the guy who's been sending all of these flowers is...
Yes. Jerky old black-eyed you.
Oh, no, and to think I went through all of this with her, I think I'll kill myself.
Mr. Harris, don't say that. Don't even think of killing yourself.
You don't want me to, Julius?
No, I'll get that big guy back to do it. You'll have him mess it up.
Alice and Phil will be back in just a moment. But right now, a lady puts our Rexall family druggist on the spot.
I'd like to know what brand of drug products you use in your own home.
Why, Rexall, naturally.
Why, naturally?
Well, it's not just because I carry the 2,000 or more quality drug products made by Rexall, if that's what you mean. No, it's because I know how those products are made. For instance, just a moment ago, I sold a customer an eye lotion made by the Rexall Drug Company. Now, I've watched that product go through Rexall's laboratory. I've seen how every single bottle is carefully inspected under a magnifying glass a foot wide, just to make doubly sure that it's absolutely clear and free of any foreign matter.
Well, it's an eye-opening example, isn't it?
Well, yes, ma'am. I guess you could call it that. And we independent Rexall druggists could give you a lot more such examples, but they all add up to this. Look for the store with the orange and blue Rexall sign on the window. That's the only place where you'll find Rexall drug products. And you can depend on any drug product that bears the name Rexall.
Good health to all from Rexall.
Alice, do my eyes look awful?
Yes, but don't worry, Phil. This beefsteak will help them.
Alice, about the food. I'm still hungry.
Stop it, will you, Remley? Haven't you got any sympathy for me? Don't you care if Frankie, stop licking my face.
Who's licking your face? I'm eating the steak.
This program was produced and directed by Paul Phillips. The part of Frankie Remley was played by Elliot Lewis, and Juliet was played by Walter Tetley. Included in today's cast were Hal March and Jack Mather. Alice Faye appears through the courtesy of 20th Century Fox. This is Bill Foreman wishing good health to all from Rexall.
This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
From the archives of the greatest dramas in radio history, we proudly present Hollywood.
The Radio Theater, starring Jack Benny and Gail Patrick in Killer Kate. Ladies and gentlemen, your producer, Mr. William Keeley.
Greetings from Hollywood, ladies and gentlemen. Very few institutions on the air outdate the Radio Theater. But one of the exceptions is our star tonight, Waukegan's favorite son, Jack Benny. It was 15 years ago that Jack started trying for laughs on the air, and he's still trying. As a matter of fact, we'll have to allow Jack's one of America's top comedians. But tonight he branches out into a different field, in a thrilling piece of action drama entitled Killer Kate. Based on a Warner Brothers screenplay, it was adapted especially for Jack's newly discovered dramatic ability, and co-stars lovely and talented Gail Patrick. And now, Jack Benny as Killer Kate, and Gail Patrick as Helen, with Alan Reed as Al Brady. In this rather unusual story, Mr. Benny plays the part of Jeff Morley, sometimes known as Killer Kate. In the opening scene, we find our cold-blooded killer at the door of his old hideaway.
Hey, you, Spangler. Wait till I get this door open. Spangler, where have you... Killer Kate. It's you.
Yeah. Yeah, Blinky, it's me.
Gee, killer, I didn't know it was you. I was just waiting for Spangler to come back.
Spangler ain't coming back.
Not coming back? Well, it serves him right. He had it coming. I was going to knock him off myself. I was, killer. He's the guy that ratted on you.
Yeah?
Yeah, killer, yeah. Gee, it's good to see you back again. When'd you get out?
Last night, Blinky. I busted out just to see you and Spangler. I just seen Spangler.
You busted out? Then you're hot. But don't worry, killer. I'll hide you. You can use my place.
So you can put the finger on me like you did last time, eh, Blinky?
It wasn't me, killer. I swear it wasn't me. It was Spangler, I tell you. It was Spangler. He was the guy that...
Shut up, you lying rat.
Honest, killer. You gotta believe me. I had nothing to do with it.
Get down on your knees, Blinky, and start praying.
But, killer, please. You can't do this. I'm your pal, your friend. We grew up together. We was like brothers, killer. Please give me a break.
You didn't give me a break, did you? When you sent me up to the big house to rot in a lousy cell? You weren't satisfied to take over my racket. You even had to steal my dame.
I tell you, I didn't do it, killer. Everything is just the way you left it. And Millie, I didn't steal her. She's still your girl killer. She's waiting for you.
Where do you want it, Blinky? In the belly or the back?
Killer, please give me a chance. I'll get out of town.
Get down on your knees, Blinky.
No, Killer, don't. I swear I had nothing to do with this, believe me.
Start praying, Blinky.
Killer! You can't do it! Don't shoot! Don't! Killer.
So long, Blinky. You were my pal once, but you just couldn't keep your nose clean. Cops! I gotta get out of here.
Come on out, killer. You haven't got a chance.
You want me, copper? You'll have to come in and get me.
There he goes, blowing. Got him. Is he dead?
No, I'm not dead, copper. Of course I'm not dead. Remember me? I'm Killer Gates. The man who couldn't be killed.
Keep bringing the curtain up and down, Eddie. He's good for a dozen bows.
Whoever thought this corny show would be a hit?
You gotta hand it to that Jeff Morley, corny or not. He plays that killer case like a real gangster. Get down on your knees and start praying, Blinky. Where do you want it? In the belly or the back?
Quiet. Here he comes. Nice show, Mr. Morley.
Thanks, Eddie. Is my manager around?
Yeah, Mr. Brady said he'd wait for you in your dressing room.
Thanks.
Hiya, Jeff.
Hello, Brady. I want to talk to you.
Fine, and say congratulations, killer.
For what?
For the 1,000th performance of The Man Who Couldn't Be Killed.
Seems like $1 million. And stop calling me killer, will you? It's bad enough I have to play that part without being reminded of it all the time.
Well, you've been doing all right for 3 years now.
But can't you see what's happening to me? Every time I have to shoot a gun, I break into a cold sweat. I'm afraid of guns. They're so noisy.
Well, you can't bump off Blinky with a water pistol. His makeup will run.
Don't be funny. Imagine me, a killer, standing there with 2 guns.
You gotta use 2 guns, Jeff. When we tried it with 1 gun, you used to put your other hand on your hip.
What?
Why don't you forget it, Jeff? Did you see the audience out there tonight? Not an empty seat in the house.
I tell you, this play is driving me nuts. I have nightmares. I dream that I'm busting out of prison, taking guys for rides, sticking up banks. Gee, it's getting so every time I walk down the street and see a policeman, I duck.
Look, Jeff, what you need is a nice long rest. Go home and relax. Spend some time with your wife. Play a little golf. This is Saturday. You don't have to be back to the theater till Monday night.
No, Brady. That's not the solution. Don't you understand? I'm a comedian. A comic. All my life I've been a comedian. I don't want to play a gangster. I want to make people laugh.
All right, so you're a comedian. What happened when you played comedy? You did a show on Broadway called The Meanest Man in Syracuse, folded in 2 weeks.
I know.
And when you went out to Hollywood to make a picture, what was the name of that epic? Oh, The Bugle Blew at Midnight.
Well?
The audience blew at 9 o'clock.
So what? I made a mistake. Anybody's entitled to one mistake.
Yeah, but you made yours while you were standing in front of a camera. And everybody who saw that picture's a witness. There weren't many, but they're witnesses.
Look, Brady, you can talk till doomsday. But I know how I feel inside. For 25 years, I've been doing comedy, and that's what I want to keep on doing.
Jeff, what's the use of kidding? As a comedian, you're lousy. You stink.
Oh, you and your innuendos.
Look at the record. Since you gave up comedy and became Killer Cakes, look what you got. An estate on Long Island, a butler, 3 cars, and you're only number 12 in line for a new refrigerator. What more do you want?
My peace of mind. That's what I want. And it's no use arguing. I'm getting out of this play while I've still got my sanity, my health. Even if it means those one-night stands again.
But, Jeff, boy, think of your wife. Think of Helen.
I am thinking of Helen. In the mental condition I'm in, what kind of a husband am I?
Well, then think of me. I get 10% of your salary. For the last 3 years, I've been eating. I live in a nice apartment. I wear good clothes. Don't take those things away from me, Jeff.
That's what I thought. All you care about is your 10%. Well, I'm through, so you might as well get out of here, Brady, and start looking for a new killer. Now get out. Out. Out.
Okay.
Ooh, my head. Oh, those awful headaches.
Pardon me, Mrs. Morley.
What is it, Walters?
Mr. Brady telephoned. I told him Mr. Morley was asleep, and he said he'd drop in later on.
Oh, thank you, Walters. What time is it?
12:15, madam.
That late? I think you'd better wake Mr. Morley now.
Yes, madam. Mr. Morley. Mr. Morley. Mr. Morley. Wake up, sir. It's 12:15.
Listen, Scalise. From now on, you're taking orders from me. Killer Kate, see?
Mr. Morley.
You don't like it, you get the same thing that happened to Spangler. You'll wind up at the bottom of the river with your feet in a barrel of cement.
Mr. Morley,
Take
wake
your
up.
dirty mitts off of me before I... What? Where am I? Oh, it's you, Walters. I'm sorry, I must have been dreaming.
Yes, sir.
What was I saying?
Something about a Mr. Scalise, sir. You intimated that in the future he was to receive his instructions from you.
A darn show again. Can't get it off my mind. Other men dream about Lana Turner. I dream about Dillinger. He's not even wearing a sweater. Walters, tell Mrs. Morley I'll be right down.
Yes.
Would you like another cup of coffee, dear?
No, thanks. I don't feel like eating. I tell you, Helen, if I don't get out of this show, I'm going to have a nervous breakdown.
Jeff, I've never stood in your way. In the old days when you were playing vaudeville, things were pretty tough. I went along hoping you'd get a break. But you must admit that your act always flopped.
Well, I was doing all right until my seal died.
If that seal didn't die, you were out of work so long we had to eat it.
Well?
And what we didn't eat, I had to wear.
Well, all I know is I was happier then. Gee, and I had a swell act, too. Smart comedy, high class. Gosh, remember how I used to come out in white flannel pants, double-breasted blue coat with brass buttons, straw hat and cane, and I'd say, a funny thing happened to me on the way to the theater. A panhandler walked up to me and said, "Hey, mister, I haven't had a bite all week." So I bit him. Oh, boy, they used to scream at that. Yes, sir. That act is as good today as it ever was. Only maybe I'd have to bring it up to date, take out those General Pershing jokes, And then finish with, you remember I used to finish with that imitation of Ted Lewis? Yes, sir, is everybody happy? I don't know, that stuff is surefire.
I like it better when you say, "Where do you want it, Blinky, in the belly or the back?"
I know, but look at, remember just before Brady got me in the play, you'll have to admit I was a sensation in that nightclub in Atlantic City.
But you had to work as a lifeguard in the daytime.
I didn't have to. I insisted on it. It kept me in condition. Atlantic City, I was terrific there. I got a million laughs.
Who wouldn't in that bathing suit?
All right.
But all right, Jeff, if it means your health and it'll make you any happier, then I'm for it. We'll start all over again. Right from the very, very, very bottom.
Gee, Helen, you're wonderful. After all, look, we've got what we want. This big house, the butler, 3 cars.
Yes, but when are we going to get the new refrigerator?
We're number 12. Oh, Helen, if you only knew how happy I am. I'm the old Jeff Morley again. Oh, kitten, when my baby smiles at me, ha, 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 there's There's someone at the door.
Walters, that's probably Mr. Brady. Show him right in.
Yes, madam.
Brady? How do you like that? He won't even let me alone on Sundays. Well, I'm glad he's here. I'm going to straighten him out once and for all.
Hiya, killer. Hello, Helen.
Hello,
I brought
Helen.
a couple of fellas I wanted you should meet. Shake hands with Bob Stanley and Freddie McCall.
How do you do?
How are you?
Glad to know you, killer.
Yeah, you too, Mrs. Cates.
The name is Morley.
I'm sorry, but I've seen you on the stage so many times. To me, you'll always be Killer Cates.
Oh, no, I won't. Brady, I got news for you. I talked the whole thing over with Helen, and I'm quitting the show.
It ain't as easy as that, Jeff. You got a run-of-the-play contract, and they won't let you out of it. You can't quit.
Then I'll walk out.
But, Jeff, can you do that?
If he does, he'll never work in the theater again as long as he lives.
So that's the way it is. Well, I guess I can't do anything about it.
Now you're being smart, Jeff. That play will run another 3 years, you'll be a millionaire.
So what good is money? I'll end up with a gold-plated straitjacket.
Look, Jeff, when the show closes, you'll have plenty of time to enjoy life. In the meantime, let's cash in. There's a lot of extra gravy around.
Gravy? What do you mean?
I finally got you set for a radio deal.
Radio?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds all right.
Well, sure. It's a 15-minute program, 5 times a week. Stanley and McCarthy have written a terrific script.
Well, you hear it. It's dynamite.
But won't that interfere with the play?
Not at all. He'll be off the air by 8:15. The curtain don't go up till 8:30. He can eat his dinner in a taxi.
Wait a minute, Brady. Is this that comedy program you were talking about?
No, I couldn't get a sponsor interested in that. This one is a natural. We got the radio rights to the man who couldn't be killed. You're going on the air as Killer Kates.
What? Killer Kates on the air? Nothing doing.
Now, I know this is awful sudden, Jeff, but the money is sensational. In a couple of years, you'll be able to quit and do comedy for the rest of your life in empty theaters.
But look at it.
Wait till you hear this script.
Brady.
Go ahead, fellas. Explain it to him.
I'm not going to.
Well, the program opens with you in a tough spot. You shoot your way through Scalise's mob. You kill about 8 of them, but the town gets too hot for you, so you take it on the lam. Just until the heat is off. You're in a town in Jersey laying low, see, for a few days. Then you start to crave action, you go out and you get it.
No, I'm not.
And you walk into the Maramba, the biggest nightclub in town. And you tell the boss he's through, but there's a mob there who tries to put the finger on you. But you stage a one-man gang war and you take over.
Stop, fellas, please. I tell you, I'm not going to
you have to go out and kill a couple of cops. You're running things your way. Scalise is out to get you. It's a pitch back. You're the man who couldn't be killed. You're Killer Kate. Killer Kate. Killer Kate.
Look, fellas, you're wasting your time. I'm not going to go through.
Scalise's mob.
The heat is on.
You walk into the Maramba.
The Maramba.
But the mob puts the finger on you. Run things your way. You kill 2 cops. 3 cops. 4 cops. 10 cops. You kill a cop.
Stop, I tell you. You're driving me nuts. I'm not going... Oh, my head.
Jeff! Darling, what's the matter?
Oh.
Walters, call the doctor. Mr. Morley has fainted.
In a moment, we'll present Act 2 of Killer Kates, starring Jack Benny and Gail Patrick. Here's your producer, William Keeley.
We continue with the second act of Killer Kates, starring Jack Benny as Jeff Morley, alias Killer Kates, and Gail Patrick as his wife, Helen. A few moments ago, when we left Jeff Morley, he was flat on the floor with a nervous collapse. Well, he's resting in bed now, while in another room, Dr. Elberon solemnly explains his diagnosis to Jeff's wife, Helen, and his manager, Al Brady.
And as I see it, Jeff is suffering from nervous fatigue more than anything else. He needs absolute quiet and a good long rest.
Sure, a good night's sleep, and he'll be ready to go to work tomorrow.
It'll be a long time before he's ready to go back on the stage, Mr. Brady. Several weeks, perhaps.
Several weeks? Well, what about the show? Without Jeff, it'll fold up. No, we can't do it. Helen, we'll have to get another doctor.
Oh, now, wait a minute, Al. I'm not going to sacrifice Jeff for your corny show. You'll have to get yourself another actor.
Helen, where can I get an actor cornier than him?
Are there any further instructions, Doctor?
Yes. Keep all conversation away from that play. Don't even mention the words Killer Kates.
Yes, Doctor.
You see, it's his impersonation of Killer Kates that's brought about this condition. Basically, Jeff is a sensitive type with a natural antipathy to that sort of character, all of which has resulted in these definite symptoms of schizophrenia.
What?
Schizophrenia. The doctrine of 2 distinct ultimate substances.
It's a disease of the mind, Al.
Holy smoke, how did he get it? Well, I'm going to call up the newspapers. I'll tell him that Jeff's got I'll tell him he's got 2 ultimate substances.
Who's that?
Just me, Jeff. I hope I didn't wake you.
Where you going?
Just open the window. Why, this room's empty.
What's that?
Why, nothing, dear. Just a car backfiring.
What are you giving me? Those are gunshots. That must be Scalise's mob.
Scalise's mob? Oh, darling, you're having another nightmare. Now get right back in bed. The doctor said...
Come here, you.
Oh, please, you're twisting my wrist.
Who sent you here?
Oh, darling, you're hysterical. I'll call the doctor.
Don't touch that phone.
Oh, please let me go.
I will when I get good and ready. Say, you're not a bad-looking dish. What's your name?
Darling, it's me, Helen. Don't you even recognize me?
I never saw you before in my life. But I'm going to make up for lost time. Come here, baby. Give me a kiss.
Oh, darling. Kiss me again.
Happens every time. Anyway, baby, That'll hold you till I get back.
Get back? Where are you going?
What do you think I am, a sucker? Think I'm going to open up to you so you can tip off the mob and put the finger on me?
But darling, what are you doing?
Come on, get in this closet. Come on.
But you can't... Let me out. Let me out.
Shut up or I'll come in there and slug you. That's better. Now to get out of here. Who's that?
It's I, sir. Walters. Oh, I didn't know you were up. Oh, dear, and I was given orders not to disturb you.
Listen, you mug. I'm Killer Kate. I'm giving orders around here, see?
Very amusing, sir.
Wipe that smile off your kisser.
Oh, but...
Wipe it off.
Oh, you struck me, sir. This leaves me no alternative. I'll leave for Reno in the morning.
What?
I live there, you know.
Shut up. Now listen, you. Where do they keep the scratch around here?
The what, sir?
The scratch, the molar, the money.
The money, sir, why, it's in the safe.
Well, lead me to it.
But, sir, you know where the...
Now leave me to that safe and don't give me no more of your lip.
Yes, sir. This way, sir. There it is, sir, behind the picture.
Hey, wait a minute. Who's that mug in the picture?
But, sir...
Never mind, I can read the nameplate. Jeff Morley, star of stage and screen. What a conceited punk.
Yes, sir.
Now watch the front door. Let me know if he comes in. Now, come on. What's the combination of this safe?
I don't know, sir.
And get out of the way. Out of the way. I can open this tin can with boxing gloves on. There. It's coming. A cinch. Ah, look at those bills. 50s, 100s. What a haul.
But, sir, don't you understand?
Shut up.
It's for the new refrigerator, sir.
I don't care what it's for. Now turn around. Face the wall.
Yes, sir. Sir, what are you going to do with that vase?
I'm going...
Oh.
I guess I should have told him first. Well, that takes care of him. Look out, Scalisi. Here comes Killer Kate.
And I got out of the closet, Dr. Elbron, just in time to see Jeff driving away.
How do you like that, Doc? Held up his own house and stole his own car. That's awesome.
Now, Walters.
Yes, Dr. Elbron?
Did Mr. Morley give any indication of where he was going?
No, sir. He was most irrational. He said he was Killer Kate, and he asked me where we kept the money.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's call the police.
Under no condition will we call the police.
But, Doctor, why not?
Because Jeff thinks he's Killer Kate. And what does Killer Kate do to policemen?
He asks them where they want it. In the belly?
Exactly.
Oh, then we've got to find him ourselves. At once. Why, he's liable to hurt somebody.
Oh, my head. I wonder where I am.
You're Killer Kate, you lay alone. You're Killer Kate. You're in church. Hey, Don, walking to the ramp. You're Killer Kate, Killer Kate, Killer Kate.
Yeah, I'm Killer Kate. The heat's on. I've got to lay low here in Jersey. Then I take over the biggest nightclub in town. What's that name?
The Miramba.
Yeah, the Miramba. That's it. What's this place?
Yes, sir. Park your car.
What's the name of this joint?
The Pelican Club.
Well, I'm looking for the Miramba, the biggest nightclub in Jersey.
Miramba. Never heard of it. This is the biggest nightclub in Jersey.
The Pelican, eh? So they changed the name. Well, they ain't fooling Killer Kate's. I'm moving in.
I'll park your car for you.
Oh, no, you don't. Leave that car where it is. And keep the motor running slow. I'm almost out of gas.
Yes.
Were you looking for somebody?
Who are you?
I'm Mario, the head waiter.
Well, I'm Killer Kate, your new boss, see? From now on, you're taking orders from me.
But I don't understand. Mr. Norton didn't mention anything about selling the place.
Norton? Who's Norton?
He's the boss. Hey, cut that out!
I told you I'm the boss. Now get out of my way. Hey, waiter! Waiter, come here.
Yes, sir?
Who's the tomato out there singing?
Peaches Mason, sir. She's the star of the show.
Easy on the eyes, ain't she? Waiter, give me a double bourbon. I'll sit down here.
But, sir, this table...
Shut up and do like I told you.
Yes, sir.
Mario,
Yes, Miss Mason?
who's that tourist at Mr. Norton's table?
I don't know. He called himself a Killer Case. He said that from now on, he was the boss.
Oh, the loud jerk. He almost ruined my number. Why don't you throw him out?
You know Mr. Norton don't like any rough stuff when the place is full of customers.
Hey, waiter! Bring a double bourbon before I tear this joint apart.
Hey, you. What's the big idea?
Peaches Mason, eh? I like that name. Sit down, baby. I want to talk to you.
Listen, mister. This is Joe Norton's table, and if you know what's good
Sit
for
down.
you... I never joined the
I
guests.
said sit down.
All right. Keep your voice down. Everybody's staring at us.
So what? Let me give you a tip, sister. Keep your nose clean.
What?
Don't play dumb. You know what happened to Spangler, don't you? At the bottom of the river with his feet in a barrel of cement.
Cement?
Hard to get nowadays, but I got connections. You know, baby, I like the way
A double bourbon, sir.
Set it right down here. Well, baby, here's to you. Boy, that's good.
Well, ain't you going to drink the rest of it?
Nah. I always save a little to fill my lighter. Now listen, baby. I like your looks. See? I like the way you stack up.
You're wasting your time, big boy, because I'm Joe Norton's girl.
Norton is through, washed up. I'm going to wrap up this town, put it in my back pocket. Lady, you just stick with me. You'll have a butler, 3 cars, and a sealskin coat. Now, all you got to do is...
Excuse me, Mr. Mason, but Mr. Norton would like to see this gentleman in his office.
Ah, so Norton knows I mean business, eh? Lead the way, punk.
Punk!
You heard me. Get going. So Norton's worried, eh? Well, they all worry when a killer moves in. A Pelican Club. I think I'll change that name. I don't like it. I don't like a lot of things around here. I don't even like...
This is it.
Come in.
Mr. Norton, I'd like you to meet the new boss. The gentleman I was telling you about. Mr. Case.
Well, step right in, Mr. Cates. That's all, Mario, and close the door after you.
Yes, sir.
So you're Norton, eh? Who are these 2 mugs?
Oh, excuse me. Allow me to introduce my 2 assistants, Lefty Ryan and Steve Kapouris.
Charmed, I'm sure.
Such as entitled half privilege.
Mr. Cates, I want to apologize for asking you to come all the way back here, but you see, we don't like to throw anybody out the front door. It gives the place a bad name. All right, Lefty, throw this bum out in the alley.
Such as entitled half privilege.
Take your hands off of me.
Come on, yo.
Ah. Anybody else feel like throwing me out?
Oh, what's up, guy, huh?
Wait a minute, Steve. All right, Cates, the back door's right behind you. Now get out.
That gun don't scare me, Norton. I'm going to walk over there and take it away from you.
Stay where you are. I'm warning you.
You can't pull the trigger, Norton. You ain't got the guts.
I'm telling you for the last time. One more step and I'll shoot.
Go ahead. I'm the man who couldn't be killed. Give me that gun. I got it, Norton. And Killer Cates ain't afraid to use it.
Killer Cates? That name sounds familiar.
You're darn right it's familiar. You know something, Norton? I think I'm going to like this new office. Hey, it's a nice-looking safe you got there. Okay, Norton, open it.
But I
said open it.
All right. Don't hit me again. I'll do it. There. It's open.
Well, come on. Hand over the money. Hey, you. Come here and put this dough in the satchel. And be quick about it.
Is it all right, boss?
I'm the boss around here.
Nobody tells you, Steve.
Okay.
Well, that's all the money I got.
Yeah? What about that $10?
Yeah, but
Get it out!
There's nothing in it. Just a bunch of canceled checks.
Well, get it out. I'm taking everything.
All right. There.
Thanks. Now get down on your knees, Norton, and start praying.
Killer, please, don't shoot. No, don't kill me. I don't want to die. I'll do anything you say. Only please don't kill me. Give me a break, will you?
You didn't give me a break, did you? When you sent me up to the big house to rot in a lousy cell? You weren't satisfied to take over my racket. You even had to steal my dame.
For me? But Killer, I didn't do any of those things. You got me mixed up with some other guy. You gotta believe me, Killer. I swear it wasn't
Where
me.
do you want it, Norton? In the belly or the back?
No, Killer, no, please. I'm telling you the truth. I didn't take your business. I opened this place myself 6 months ago. On a GI loan.
Now, wait a minute.
And it's for Peaches. Peaches, I didn't know she was your girl.
That's right, Killer. He's telling the truth.
Hey, there's something fishy around this.
No, Killer, please. Give me a chance. I'll get out of town. I'll do anything.
All right, Norton. Okay, but I'm warning you. You come back, you get the same thing that happened to Spangler. He's at the bottom of the river with his feet in a barrel of cement.
Cement?
Yeah, I got connections. Okay, Norton, now blow.
Yeah, thanks, Killer. I'll grab the next train. I won't come back, Killer. Honest, I won't.
Well, see that you don't. Now you, Steve, pick up that satchel and come with me.
Oh, okay, Killer. You're the boss. Hey, Killer, slow down, will you? You're doing 80 miles an hour.
Don't worry, Steve. Open a grab bag. Count the dough we took from Norton.
Okay, boss. It's all in $1,000 packages. There's 10 of them here.
Okay, take 5 for yourself.
5 G's for me?
Sure. Killer Kate's always splits 50-50 with the guys that work for him.
Yeah, but I wasn't working for you then.
Yeah, now, ain't you?
Hey, I'll say I am. 5 G's. Oh, boy, am I happy. Where's me harmonica?
Put that away. I don't want no trouble with Petrillo. Put it away.
Gosh, 5 G's. Wait till I tell the boys about this.
The boys?
The rest of Norton's mob. They'll all want to wait for you now.
Okay, well, get them together. Have them bring their artillery. I'm going to take over this town, and I'm going to start tonight.
Two tangible symbols of our legislative branch of government are the Senate gavel and the mace of the House of Representatives. Perhaps the most revered article in the Senate chambers is the ivory gavel. Tradition has it that the gavel was used by the nation's first Vice President, John Adams, in 1789, during the first session of the Senate in New York City. During a late-night session of the 83rd Congress, the gavel began to disintegrate beyond repair under its normal use. So a more functional one replaced the original ivory piece. Over in the House is the mace, the only visible symbol of governmental authority in the United States other than the flag itself. It was adopted by the House during the first Congress in 1789, and the original was destroyed in the Capitol fire of 1814. For 27 years, a copy of the mace was used. Then New York's best silversmith fashioned an exact replica of the original, and it still stands today, reminding the representatives of their power for the people.
Here's Mr. Keeley at the microphone.
After the play, we'll invite Jack Benny to step out of his role as Killer Cates and join us for a brief chat with tonight's stars. Here they are in Act 3. Jack Benny as Jeff Morley and Gail Patrick as Helen. For hours now, Helen and Dr. Elbron have searched in vain for Jeff. Back at home, they find Al Brady waiting for them, wildly flourishing a newspaper.
Helen, Doc, have you read the papers?
The papers? No, Al, what do they say?
Listen to this. Daring thugs menace Daleville, New Jersey. Reign of terror gripped city. According to one of the victims, David Franklin, gas station owner, he had just locked up for the night when 4 thugs broke in and demanded that he hand over all the money in his cash register. When Franklin resisted, the leader of the thugs threatened him with the same thing that happened to Spangler, asserting that Spangler was at the bottom of the river with his feet continued on page 2. With his feet in a barrel of cement. The victim also mentioned that the killer mumbled something about bumping off 11 people so he could be first in line for a new refrigerator.
Spangler with his feet in cement. Well, that dialogue's right out of the play.
Sure. That's Jeff, all right. He really believes he's Killer Kate.
Oh, we got to stop him before he does any more damage. Oh, poor Jeff.
Come on, we'll use my car. It's only an hour's drive to Daleville. Gosh, Jeff must have made a pile of dough with those gangsters.
I hope nothing happens to my husband.
Hope nothing happens to my 10%.
Well, Killer, how do you like the house?
Not bad, Steve. Think we'll spend a little lettuce and fix it up. Put bulletproof glass in the windows, get some steel shutters and doors. We'll have the classiest joint on the south side.
Wouldn't Norton be burned up if he knew we was using his summer house for a hideaway?
Well, I sure gotta hand it to you, Killer. You certainly get action in a hurry. First you take over Norton's club, then his gang, and now you've even got his house.
Yeah. You left out something else, Peaches.
Yeah? What's that?
I got his girl, too. Come here, baby. Let the killer take off some of that lipstick.
Oh. Killer, you're terrific.
And there's more where that came from. Now, look, baby. Nobody knows you're true in with us, see? So you're running the case to club. Give it a once-over. I want to make sure that Mario's keeping his nose clean.
Okay, Killer.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
What's this tin box here?
Well, that's the thing we took from Norton's safe, Killer. You know, he said it was just canceled checks.
Well, let's have a look at it. That check's all right. Paid to the order of John Graham, $5,000. Signed Joe Norton. Paid to John Graham, $2,500. John Graham, $3,000. Say, who is this mug, John Graham?
Oh, he's the mayor. Norton was paying him off.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, then this is the best haul yet. Give me an envelope.
What are you going to do, boss?
I'm going to send these checks to the district attorney.
What?
Sure. When the DA gets these checks, you go right after the mayor. The politicians will start fighting among themselves. The cops won't know which way to turn. I can put this town in my back pocket. Here, mail this, Peaches.
Oh, gee, Killer. Oh, you think of everything.
Yeah. I just thought of something else. Before you go, let me take off some more of that lipstick. Thanks. I like the taste of that. You keep putting it on, and I'll keep taking it off. Come on, let's do it again.
I'm telling you, Graham, I'm on the spot. You got to get me off. You can do it. You're the mayor.
I'm sorry, Norton. Election's only 2 weeks away. I have my own troubles, not to mention the gambling chip.
You're going to have a lot more trouble if this Killer Kate stays on the loose. I'm supposed to be out of town right now. I'm liable to be bumped off any minute.
We all have to take a bath sometime, Joe. Maybe it's your turn to be washed up.
Oh, yeah? Well, if I go to the cleaners, you're going with me.
What do you mean?
Wouldn't the DA be surprised to find our honest mayor gets 15% of all the take in this town?
And how's he going to find out?
As a little matter of a few canceled checks that I made out to you, they're going to look very pretty in court.
You wouldn't dare turn in those checks. You're in it as deep as I am.
Killer Cates isn't, and he's got the checks.
What?
You heard me. He stole them out of my safe.
This DA's been gunning for me for 5 years, and if he ever gets his hands on those checks... Can't let the police get hold of them either. I don't trust the commissioner. I think he's honest.
There's only one way to do it, but it's going to cost a few grand. I'll have to put a new mob together and get Killer Kate.
How much will it take?
Oh, about 10 G's.
Very well. Just don't spend any more than you have to. Remember, it's the taxpayers' money.
So if you're smart, Mario, you'll watch your step around this club.
Don't worry about me, Peaches. I don't want my feet in the cement, even if it's Grumman's Chinese. Did you forget what happened to Spangler?
Oh.
Pardon me, but I wonder if you could give us some information. We're looking for a man who calls himself Killer Cates.
What made you think you'd find him here?
Well, we've been to every nightclub in town. You see, we have reason to believe he'd be at one of them.
Huh? Who are you?
I'm his wife.
His what? He never told me he was married.
Well, then you know him. Oh, please, tell me, where is he?
If I find out he's been too
Miss,
kind
it's
to me...
vitally important that we find this man immediately.
You see, there are a few things we have to straighten out with him.
Yeah, and I got a few things to straighten out with him myself. Okay, come along, follow me.
Peaches, you're playing with the dynamite.
No, killer, I gotta know where I stand.
Peaches. What a doll. There's nobody in the play like that. Jeff must be ad-libbing. Well, he can't be altogether out of his mind. No, sir.
Who is it?
Me, Peaches.
It's about time you got back.
Yeah. Come on in, Mrs. Kate.
Mrs. Kate? Hey, wait a minute. Who's the company?
Yeah. Who's the twist in the two mugs?
Jeff. Oh, Jeff, it's me, Helen. Don't you even recognize me?
Jeff. Nobody here by that name. Say, I remember you now. You're Scalise's mouth.
Jeff, snap out of it.
Please, Jeff, it's Helen, your wife, the girl you married. Think back. Remember our honeymoon, Niagara Falls, those gin rummy games.
Hey, what is this?
What about it, killer? What about that line you was handing me about us getting married? Well, start talking.
Shut up.
I'm not shutting up until I find out where I stand. Oh, you and your sealskin coat.
Button your lip before I let you have it. Ought to do it anyway for bringing these monkeys in here.
Oh, Jeff, please.
Wait a minute, Helen. Let me do the talking. Now, Jeff, you're going to listen to me.
And you're going to listen to this.
Out like a light, killer, you sure pack a mean wallop. What do you want to do with these other phonies?
Throw them out.
Wait a minute, Jeff. Try to concentrate. This is Dr. Elbron talking to you. I'm your friend.
And I'm Helen. Look at me, darling. Look at me.
I am looking at you. You're not bad. Steve.
Yeah, killer?
I changed my mind. Just throw these two mugs out. I'm going to keep the dame.
Oh, no, you don't. I say she goes.
You stay out of it.
Well,
Wait a minute. You don't have to fight, girl. There's enough of me for both of you.
Well, I
Hey, what's that?
Wait a minute.
It's Norton. He's got a mob with him.
Norton, eh? I told him to get out of town. He wants action. He came to the right place.
Stay away from that window.
Oh.
Jeff. Oh, Jeff.
They got the killer.
Is he hit, Dad?
I don't know yet.
Oh, Dr. Elbron, help me take Jeff into the other room.
Hey, Peaches, did you stir Norton's mob over here?
No, I didn't, Steve. Honest, I didn't. Hey, look, you gotta believe me.
We'll talk about that later. Stay with him, boys. We can't let the killer down.
Here. We're just laying down on the couch. There.
Doctor, Jeff, is he hurt badly?
It's a flesh wound. The bullet grazed his temple.
Oh, look, he's coming to.
Oh, my head.
Jeff, are you all right?
Helen, get a glass of water.
Yes, Doctor.
Oh. What's this? I'm bleeding.
Now, take it easy, Jeff. Take it easy. It's only a scratch. You'll be all right.
Here's the water, Doctor.
Yeah, thanks. Now, take this pill, Jeff. It'll make you feel better.
Helen. Dr. Elbron.
Jeff. Oh, Doctor, he's himself again.
The sudden shock did it. Now, how do you feel now, Jeff?
Gee, I had the most terrible nightmare. I dreamt that I was Killer Kate, and I went to New Jersey. Met a man named Norton. Got mixed up in a gang war. It was awful.
Jeff, it wasn't a dream.
What? No dream?
No, Jeff. You actually did all those things. You were out of your mind.
What's the noise? Well, there's not.
It's Norton's men. They're shooting at us. Your gang's outside in the other room.
Well, what are we going to do? We'll all be killed. Where's Brady? Get Brady. He always knows what to do.
I'm afraid he can't help us now. He can't help us.
Killer Kate, you knocked him off.
There's only one thing to do, Jeff. You've got to go out there and pretend you're Killer Kate.
Me?
It's our only chance to get out of this mess.
But I can't do it. Look, I'm liable to get killed.
Doctor, we can't send Jeff out there.
But don't you see, if those men find out that Jeff isn't Killer Kate, their fearless leader who got them into this predicament, they'll turn on him in a second.
He's right, Jeff. You have to go through with it.
But what can I do? I'm a coward. I'm not even a brave coward. I mean, I'm afraid.
Get out there and try to call off this gang war. Make peace with Norton. Give him back his gang, his nightclub.
And his girl.
Promise him anything that'll get us out of here alive.
Can you do it, Jeff?
Well, sure I can. I'm an actor. I'll give them the best performance they've ever seen. Give me that gun. Now, I'm Killer Kate, see? The man who couldn't be killed. From now on, I'm giving orders around here, see? How'd you like that?
Oh, that's fine, Jeff. But you better use two guns. Your hand was on your hip again.
Now, go on out there, Jeff.
And, darling, please be careful.
Look, the killer is back!
We thought he
was done. Now we'll show Norton who's boss.
Yeah, give it to him. Give it to him. We'll wipe out every one of them.
What's in the house?
Stop him, boy, stop him. Don't let him in. For my sake, boys, we gotta protect the old killer. Save me.
Hey, there's something wrong with the killer, is there?
Yeah, not less than the last half hour as he mentioned what happened to Spangler.
Don't stand there gossiping. Shoot back.
All right, nobody move. We got you covered.
Oh, okay. You win, Norton.
Drop your gun. Well, you're not so tough now, are you, killer?
Look, Mr. Norton. There's been a great mistake. I'm not really a killer at all. I'm an actor.
What are you trying to pull?
That's right, Mr. Norton. I can prove it. I'm his wife.
And I'm his doctor. I can certify this man was suffering from schizophrenia and not accountable for his actions.
Yeah, that's it. My name is really schizophrenia. I mean, Jeff Skitsy. I mean, Skitsy Morley. I mean, look, how could I be a killer? It's only a joke. But please believe me.
You can't talk your way out of this. Hey, what's this? Hiding behind a couch, huh? Come on out, Peaches.
Joe, you gotta listen to me. I was for you all the time.
Shut up, you little double-crosser. I'll take care of you later.
Please, Mr. Norton. I'll do anything you want. I'll give you anything if you only let me out of here. Believe me, I'm not Killer Kate.
Shut up.
Yes, sir.
Now, where are those canceled checks you stole from my safe?
Checks? I don't remember any checks, sir.
He's lying, Joe. I know where they are. The killer mailed them to the DA this afternoon.
Then they've been already picked up. They must be in the post office by now.
What do we do now, Joe?
We gotta get those checks before they reach the DA. We're gonna crack the post office.
The post office? But, Joe, that's federal stuff. We don't want to fool around with that federal stuff.
Don't worry, we're not gonna do it. Hey, you.
Who, me?
Yeah, you. You're gonna crack the post office.
No. Helen, doctor, don't let him take me. Ouch.
I'm doing the slapping now. Let me take these people downstairs, lock them in the cellar.
Come on, everybody, get moving.
Hey, what about me, Joe? You're going to take me with you, ain't you?
No, Peaches, you and me, we're through. Now, come on, killer. You're going to crack the post office and get those canceled checks.
I won't do it. I won't, I tell you. Now, put down that gun.
What's the matter, killer? Are you yellow?
No, I'm not yellow.
Then why are you shivering?
It's that darn cold strike. Isn't it awful? You know, personally, I think...
Shut up.
Yes, sir.
Come on, boys, let's go. Goodbye, Peaches.
Oh, he thinks he's through with me, huh? We'll see about that. I'm going to kill two birds with one phone call. Hello? Operator, get me the police department. Push me around, will they? Hello. Look, I'm giving you a tip. Killer Cates and Joan Norton are on their way downtown to hold up the post office. What? Oh, never mind who this is. Just a very dear friend of theirs.
How long has he been in the post office, Steve?
15 minutes. Long enough to get those canceled checks.
Come on, boys. We're going in and get him. All right, killer. Your time is up.
Wait a minute, Norton. I've been looking all through these mail bags. I can't find the canceled checks. Honest, I can't.
Where do you want it, killer? In the belly or in the back?
In the belly. In the back. I mean, anywhere. I've pictures in both places. Honest, I couldn't find the checks.
What's that you got in your hand?
Oh, just some old letters I found.
Let me see them. I can't stand Jack Benny because...
I can't stand him either. Honest, I can't.
All right, killer, this is your last chance.
It's a frame!
Have your guns, you haven't got a chance. Okay, don't shoot. You got it. Round him up, men. Norton, where's Killer Cates? There he is, on the floor.
Looks like we got him, Chief.
Yep, that's Killer Cates, all right. And he's supposed to be a tough guy.
What do you mean, Chief? Isn't he dead?
Dead nothing. He fainted.
Anyway, Helen, as soon as the shooting started, I pretended I was hit and dropped to the floor.
The chief of police said you fainted.
I was only acting.
Well, your acting was so good, it took them 4 hours to bring you to.
Well, I might have overacted a little.
Jeff, are you sure you're well enough to do the show tonight?
Never felt better in my life, Doctor. You know, somehow I'm looking forward to playing Killer Cates again. I guess it's because I feel that now I've actually lived the part.
Jeff, I'll never forget the way you kissed me when you thought you were Killer Kate.
Then let's refresh your memory, Helen. You mean like that?
Well, no. But I'd rather have you this way. Jeff, I'm so glad nothing happened to you because...
What, Helen?
Well... Doctor, you tell me.
Doctor, what is it?
While you were gone, they delivered the new refrigerator.
Oh, goody! Come on, let's make some ice
screen.
Our stars will return to their curtain calls in a moment.
No espionage system would ever send a message unless it were in code. Yet it has been said that no code has ever been devised that cannot be broken, despite the fact that codes become more sophisticated each day. A code is useless, however, without information. Therefore, agents try to find technical flaws in the security system to be penetrated, and they try even harder to take advantage of human weaknesses. The outcome of wars and the course of world history has been changed because people who should have known better were careless.
Back to Mr. Keeley and our stars.
It's time for our stars to take a bow.
I'm right here, Bill.
Jack, please, let me finish.
Oh.
It's curtain call time, and here are the stars who gave us such a thrilling evening of suspense and drama. Jack Benny and Gail Patrick. You know, Jack, now that it's over, I can honestly say you gave us a superb example of dramatic acting. Really brilliant.
Well, thanks, Bill. I guess there's no room for argument there.
Jack, may I say something, too?
Certainly, Gail. What is it?
You ought to play more romantic roles in pictures.
Me, romantic roles?
Sure, Jack. When you kissed me, it was wonderful.
Really?
When it comes to kissing, you could teach a lot to Robert Taylor and Clark Gable, Tyrone Power.
I know, but I feel so silly kissing them. Oh, say, Bill, as long as you like my work so much, I've got another great script, a magnificent dramatic piece for next week.
But, Jack, we've already got a play in cast for next week.
Well, maybe you could postpone them and use my play instead. It's another great thriller. I play another fellow who's cold, calculating, ruthless.
Ruthless?
Ruthless, yeah, ruthless. I always make that same mistake. But how about my play, Bill? What about the week after next?
You have that set, too, haven't you, Bill?
That's right.
Well, how about the week after that?
Jack, I'm afraid we're all booked up for the third week, too.
Well, look, Bill, will you call me any time in the next few months? I'll be waiting to hear from you.
Sure, Jack. Do I have your number?
You don't need my number. I'll be waiting in the wings.
Okay, Jack. And for tonight, at least, our most sincere thanks. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, Bill. Oh, Bill, by the way, I don't like to bring this up, but every little bit helps, so... Well, you know, haven't I got something coming to me for tonight's performance?
Oh, yes, Jack. Where do you want it, in the abdomen or in the back?
In the side pocket. Good night, Bill.
Good night, Jack and Gail. This is William Keeley saying good night to you from Hollywood.
Gentlemen, Dennis Day.
Oh, that make life seem worthwhile dwells in your eyes, and the spell of your smile.
Dennis Day is brought to you by Colgate Dental Cream and Luster Cream Shampoo. Colgate Dental Cream to clean your breath while you clean your teeth. Luster Cream, the cream shampoo for true hair loveliness. The Dennis Day Show with Barbara Eiler, B. Benadera, Dink Trout, John Brown, Charles Dant in the orchestra, and yours truly, Vern Smith, is written by Frank Galen and stars our popular young singer in A Day in the Life of Dennis Day. Here's Dennis singing, Who Put That Gleam in Your Eye?
Who put that dream in your eye? And who put that song in your side? Who makes you thrill through and through? Who is that lucky guy I wish I knew? Please tell me who put that spring in your wall, and who put that that lilt in your talk. Your kiss could put me wise and make me realize that I put that dream in your eyes.
Famous beauty authority Kay Dumas now sends you the winning secret of true hair loveliness. Your hair can be your most captivating charm with one touch of magic, Luster Cream Shampoo. Yes, whether your hair is honey blonde or raven black, sunny brown or fiery red, it's your natural hair appeal that men love. And more women of all ages are discovering that Luster Cream Shampoo brings out the fullest natural glory of their hair. Not a soap, not a liquid. Luster Cream Shampoo is an amazing new dainty cream that whips up luxurious lather like magic in hard or soft water, sweeps dullness away, and in its place leaves hair heavenly soft, shining, obedient. Out of her wealth of cosmetic lore, Kay Dumas blended lanolin with special secret ingredients to achieve this almost magic new cream that offers your hair a stunning new sheen and finish. Try that economical dollar jar of Luster Cream Shampoo now at all cosmetic counters. Also 30-cent and 55-cent sizes. Thrill to all those admiring looks coming your way when you begin using Luster Cream, the cream shampoo for true hair loveliness. Well, as you know, our young hero, Dennis Day, has been working at the Willoughby store in Weaverville for the past year and a half. Of course, his job isn't a very good one. The hours are long, the work is hard, and about the only thing you can say for it is that Mr. Willoughby doesn't pay him what he's worth, which is a break for Dennis. But evidently, the flame of ambition burns brighter in our hero than we had guessed, for it seems that Dennis... Well, let's look in at the Anderson living room where he's been telling his girlfriend Mildred some rather startling news.
Oh, Dennis, it's just marvelous. Another job in your spare time.
Yeah.
But how did you happen to pick the insurance business to go into?
Well, it's the best business there is. I figured it out. More people do it than anything.
Do what?
Die.
Well, that's true. But do you know anything about insurance?
Oh, I've been studying it for weeks. Believe me, I've been using my brain.
Well, why didn't you tell me about it before?
Oh, I didn't want to worry you.
Oh, I see.
Gosh, I sure hope I can make a success of this. If I do, I'll feel free to speak to your mother.
Why, darling, you mean about me?
About anything. I'll just feel free to speak to her.
Oh. Well, you'll make a success of it, Dennis. I know you will.
Sure, why not? I'm getting to know people here now, and they're getting to know me, too, and... Say, that may be why not.
Dennis, you're not losing your self-confidence again, are you?
When you're me, it's no trick at all.
Well, you've got to change, then. And now, what have you done about getting prospects to sell insurance, too?
Well, I've left little pamphlets around here and at the store.
Pamphlets?
Yeah, the firm puts them out. People read them and start thinking about insurance, and then I come along and... Oh, good morning, Mr. Anderson.
Good morning, my son. Mildred, my dear.
Good morning, Daddy. You sleep well?
No, I didn't close my eyes all night. Look at these folders someone left on my dresser last night.
Oh, those?
Yes. Just listen to these titles. You may be a heavy burden to 6 men in dark suits, but why be one to your family?
Well, you see, Mr. Anderson...
And this one. When you're ready to go, will the going be good?
Makes you stop and think, doesn't it?
Yes, but hardly the kind of thoughts I like to dwell on.
Well, I'm afraid I'm responsible for those folders, Mr. Anderson. You see, I've gone into the insurance business in my spare time.
Oh, so that's it. Well, lots of luck, my boy. But you'll need more than just a few folders to sell insurance.
Oh, Dennis has a marvelous sales talk all worked out, Daddy.
Yeah, a really subtle one. All I need is a little practice, and I'm all set to go.
Well, suppose you practice on me, son. Now, we'll pretend that I'm a prospect, and you're trying to sell me some insurance, okay?
Oh, you bet. Well. Good morning, sir. How are you feeling this lovely morning?
Fine, thank you.
Really? You look horrible.
What?
If you last 2 more months, I'm the king of Siam.
Dennis, is that what you call subtle? You have to make some conversation first. Pass the time of day with the man.
Oh, I see.
Now, let's try it again. How do you do, young man?
How do you do, sir? Well, here it is, 9 o'clock in the morning.
It is?
Yep. Wonder how many people died last night.
Oh, no, Dennis.
No?
Certainly not. You can't talk about things like that.
Well, I got to introduce the subject, don't I? I got to let him know that if he passes away tonight, his widow should be happy as a lark tomorrow.
Son, I wish you all the luck in the world in your new business, and I doubt it from the bottom of my heart. And now, if you'll excuse me, I have my housework to do. Good day, kid.
Gosh, I didn't make any headway with even pretending, and I thought he might really buy some insurance from me, too.
Dennis, you know Daddy couldn't buy anything even if he wanted to. Why, as soon as he gets his money every week, Mother's got it.
Gee, you mean she goes through his... Now I'm being silly. She's got them on.
Of course. If you want to sell any insurance in this family, my mother's your only prospect.
Well, there goes this family.
Well, not necessarily. Suppose you flattered her a little. She's very susceptible to it, you know.
I should flatter her?
Sure. Spread it on thick about her beauty and charm. It's worth a try, isn't it?
Well, gee,
Dennis, your only chance is to soften her up.
Gee, do you think softening up will be enough? In my case, she'd have to be absolutely tenderized.
I'm sure you'll think of it.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning, Mother. Dennis.
Mrs. Anderson, don't move. Just stand there and let me drink you in.
What did you say?
What glorious radiance. You're a vision of loveliness from the top of your dainty brown head to the bottom of your big, strong white feet.
Dennis,
you great, big, gorgeous hunk of dreamboat, you...
Why, Dennis, you really think I'm attractive? Oh, Dennis, you darling. Still, I've often thought I should be painted and perhaps photographed. Do you agree?
Oh, yes, ma'am. You'd photograph fine if you were painted.
What?
Oh, that didn't come out right. What I meant was... You were just made to be photographed. Why, you belong on the screen. The most beautiful mother in the movies.
Oh, well, that's different. The Irene Dunn type, huh?
Exactly. You'd be just perfect as her mother.
Oh, I would I?
Mother, Dennis didn't mean that the way it sounded.
I say he did. And I'll thank him to drop dead at his earliest convenience.
Oh, Dennis.
Yeah, I know. Gene, I was going great till I got going.
Well, that leaves you only one prospect, Mr. Willoughby. You'll just have to go down to the store and get him in a good mood. Now, let's see. What makes him happiest?
For me not to go down to the store?
Well, you are going down, and I'm going to help you.
Yeah?
Look, I went to school with a boy named Austin Peterson. We used to call him Stinky, and he's now selling insurance.
So?
Well, suppose he called on you at the store, and you pretended to buy insurance from him in front of Mr. Willoughby.
Just pretended?
Well, naturally. But Mr. Willoughby would be so impressed by an underpaid person like you buying it that he'd be ripe for some himself.
Say, for once I think one of your ideas is going to work.
Of course. But before Austin gets there, you've got to butter up Mr. Willoughby the same way you did Mother.
Uh-huh.
Only for heaven's sakes, this time don't go as far.
Oh, okay. I'll forget that stuff about him making a beautiful screen mother.
Gee, you really think I can sell this Dennis Day some insurance, Uncle Homer?
Just as sure as your name is Richard Willoughby, my boy. He's been leaving insurance folders all over the store, so I know he's interested.
Gosh, I don't know. Nothing ever happened with any of my other prospects.
All your other prospects got away because they outsmarted you. This time you're evenly matched.
Gee, imagine.
Yes, I know it's hard to. What's more, I'm going to help you. I'm going to flatter the lad for you so he's in a mood to buy.
Flatter him?
Well, sure. That's the way. Oh, here he comes. Quick, duck out of sight for a couple of minutes.
Okay.
Dennis, my dear, dear son, good morning.
Mr. Willoughby, don't move. Just stand there and let me drink you in.
Say, Dennis, you're the grandest, loveliest boy I've ever known.
And you're the finest, sweetest man, Mr. Willoughby. I don't know anyone I'd rather mop a floor for.
Dennis, I don't know anyone I'd rather have mop it.
You've given me a magnificent floor to work on, Mr. Willoughby.
Knees like yours deserve the best, Dennis.
You're good, Mr. Willoughby.
You're fine.
You're considerate.
You're loyal.
You're sweet.
You're sincere.
You're pure.
You're
wholesome. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to wait for my turn.
That's quite all right. I'd forgive you anything, Dennis.
And I love you, Mr. Willoughby.
Pardon me. Mr. Day?
Yes?
How do you do? I happen to be an insurance man, and I...
Oh, the fellow... how are you, Stinky?
Beg pardon?
I said, how are you, Stinky?
Well, I guess the customer's always right. Fine, thanks.
Good. What can I do for you, old man? Oh, stick around, Mr. Willoughby.
Well, I was wondering if you'd be interested in a life insurance policy.
Sure, I'll take it.
It's a wonder... Huh?
Sign me up for $1,000. You talked me into it.
What did I say? I'd like to remember it.
It wasn't so much what you said, it was the way I listened.
Oh, thank you very much, sir. And goodbye.
Oh, just a minute. I understand your firm also carries accident insurance.
Yes, sir.
Well, suppose I got laid up because of an accident and lost 2 weeks' pay.
Gee, that's right.
And what about the doctor's bills I'd be running up?
Yeah.
And who's going to pay my room rent while I'm in bed?
Yeah.
Accident insurance is great. I think I ought to take some.
Really?
I'd be a fool not to if what you say is true.
Gee. Gee, you're a real high-pressure customer.
Now, Stinky, are there any types of insurance you've forgotten?
Oh, I imagine there must be some I haven't mentioned.
Put me down for $100 worth of each.
If I'd known it was going to be like this, I'd have sold tickets.
Gosh, I certainly do thank you, Mr. Day. Would you mind signing right here?
Oh, not at all, Sonny. There you are.
Gee, you sure were right about Mr. Day, Uncle Homer. His premiums will come to at least $100.
Oh, sure. I'm a great believer in Uncle Homer?
Why, yes. Richard here is my nephew.
You mean he isn't Stinky?
Well, that, of course, is open to debate.
But I mean, Mildred Anderson didn't send him down here?
Mildred Anderson? Who's Mildred Anderson?
Oh, she's the girl who perfected the revolting development.
Dennis, will you stop carrying on? So it isn't my fault Austin Peterson was out of town.
What are we going to do, Mildred? I'm stuck for $100 worth of insurance premiums.
Golly, if you could only sell Mother insurance for the whole family, you could earn that much in commissions. Dennis, we've got to think.
Oh, what's the use, Mildred? I'd be better off if I'd just give up and go out and throw myself under a truck.
Why, Dennis, that's it!
Just to sell some insurance, you would let my lovely white body be mangled?
I don't mean a real accident, silly. Well, just pretend there's been one. When Mother sees you all bandaged up, she'll realize it could have happened to her, and she'll buy some insurance.
Oh, well, if you think she won't suspect...
Of course she won't. And even if she does catch on, we'll just work the fake injury trick on someone else.
Don't be silly. If she catches on, the injuries won't be a fake. Oh, well, get out the bandages.
That does it. You look perfect, Dennis.
Don't you think we've overdone it a little? Shouldn't there be a little hole I could talk out of?
Oh. Well, here, I'll push some of it aside. There.
Oh, Mildred.
Oh, golly, we just got through in time. There she is.
Oh.
In here, Mother. Quick, lie down on the couch, Dennis.
Mildred, I just wanted to...
Good heavens, who's that?
Oh, Mother. Mother, it's Dennis. He's been hurt.
Hurt? Badly? Oh, Dennis. Speak to me. How did it happen?
I was crossing a street when suddenly a 20-ton truck came bearing down on me at 80 miles an hour and hit me head on. Yes, ma'am. My face is all scratched.
Your face is scratched.
Oh, it's much worse than that, Mother. He's delirious. He doesn't know what he's saying.
Oh, my. Is the pain dreadful, Dennis?
Terrible. And no insurance at all.
Oh, dear, to be seriously injured in a strange town so far from your home.
Yeah, with no insurance.
How much you must wish that you had your mother here at a time like this.
I'll say, and a few dollars worth of insurance.
You see, Mother, he has no insurance.
Yes, I was beginning to suspect it.
Yeah, Mrs. Anderson, and you ought to buy some right away. A thing like this could happen to someone you care about.
Well, Mildred, do you realize that when that boy is delirious, he makes sense? I'm going to buy all the insurance I can as fast... Now, who can that be? I'll answer it. Yes?
How do you do? Is Mr. Day in? I brought over the insurance policies he bought this morning.
Insurance policies?
Mildred, I feel a cold wind blowing on me.
Dennis, this gentleman dropped in to bring you your insurance policies.
Gosh, Mr. Day, is that you? And you're injured. Oh, that's awful. The company gives us demerits when they have to pay off so soon.
No, I'm not really injured, Richard. Your company won't have to pay me.
I wouldn't count on it, Richard.
Huh?
Dennis, this time you've gone too far. This time I'm Dennis Day, come back here and fight like a man.
Dennis, it's safe. You can come out now. She's left the house.
Well, goodbye, Mildred. It was nice knowing you.
Dennis, wait. All we've got to do is think this thing out.
That's what I'm going to do, Mildred. Sit down in China somewhere and think it out. Goodbye.
Listen, Dennis, I've got another idea.
Mildred, I'm not a strong boy. Let's quit while I'm alive, huh?
But all you have to do is go down to the office of the insurance company you bought the policies from.
And just tell them I don't want the policies?
No, tell them you want a dozen more.
Girl, I knew it would happen. You've blown your whistle.
Wait. When you ask for more insurance, they'll wonder why.
They won't be alone.
Well, suppose you convinced them that you'd had reversals and were about to commit suicide. Wouldn't they cancel all the policies you bought this morning?
Well, it's possible, I suppose.
Possible nothing. It's a certainty. I'll go with you and wait for you. Surely you can make them believe you're desperate enough for suicide, can't you?
Why not? All I got to do is be myself.
Now, have you got everything straight? Exactly what you're to say?
Yeah, I think so. I've even got a little idea of my own I might try, too.
Oh, Dennis, and up to now I was so confident.
Well, don't worry. I may not have to use it.
But what if...
Shh, the fellow might hear you. Well, here I go.
How do you do, sir?
Hello. I'm Dennis Day, the fellow who bought those policies from your company yesterday.
Oh, yes, sir. And what can we do for you today?
Well, I'd like another $100,000 worth of life insurance.
$100,000 worth?
Pretty suspicious, huh?
Why, not at all. Just a moment till I locate my rate book.
Oh, no hurry. I got no place to go. My house burned down yesterday.
Really? Let's see now.
Too bad, too. I think my wife was in it. I haven't seen her all day.
This is the annuity book.
Yeah, that's the way it's been going lately. Yesterday, little Eloise got to playing with my razor. Darned if she didn't cut her dear little face.
Oh?
Clear off. Little things, but they add up. Make a fella pretty unhappy.
I know that book is here someplace.
Oh, take your time. I'll be alive for minutes yet.
Ah, here we are. Now, let's see. Your age is 22, I believe.
Yeah, the oldest anyone in my family ever lived to be.
How's that?
My grandfather killed himself when he was 17. I knew him only slightly, of course.
What?
Yeah. Uncle George went young, too. Hung himself from the ceiling one evening with his head in the gas oven. Yeah, then he stabbed himself in the heart, put a bullet through his brain. When we found him, he was a pretty sick boy.
Your whole family were suicides?
Starting to wake up, huh?
But surely you're not that sort of a person.
Oh, no? Well, see this?
A gun. Mr. Day, put that down.
I'm going to blow out my brains right after you give me that $100,000 policy.
After? Mr. Day, that isn't ethical.
But I can't leave my little ones with just these small policies I bought yesterday.
Here, give me those policies.
Hey!
There. My goodness, if you're not going to live, we don't want you holding our policies. The Home Office hates that.
Well, thanks, old man. So long.
Dennis, that gun! What are you doing with it?
Oh, that was a little idea I had, Mildred. The convincer. I put it to my head and started to press the trigger. Then he believed me.
But, Dennis,
Oh, don't worry. It's only your father's old trophy pistol. But he didn't know it wasn't loaded and couldn't fire even if it was. See? Even if I pulled the trigger all day like this, it wouldn't.
Dennis!
Ooh, what I nearly blew out.
Dennis Day will be back in just a moment with a song. But first, here's a fact worth knowing.
Colgate Dental Cream cleans your breath while it cleans your teeth.
And that's important, as our Colgate players now demonstrate. Our curtain goes up on a scene in a room of a college dormitory, where we find a college boy with trouble.
Gosh, this is some letter I got from Gracie today. All she says is no, no, no.
Well, maybe the gal means no, Shorty.
Well, then how come all the love stuff she used to write? Decode that for me, hotshot.
Okay. The way I figured, Gracie's signaling you to see your dentist.
And here's what Shorty found out.
Scientific tests prove that in 7 out of 10 cases, Colgate Dental Cream instantly stops unpleasing breath that originates in the mouth. And Colgate's safe polishing agent brings out the natural sparkle of your teeth, cleans them thoroughly and safely.
Yes, Colgate Dental Cream cleans your breath while it cleans your teeth.
And Colgate Dental Cream is famous for its wonderful wake-up flavor, too. Nationwide tests of leading toothpastes prove that Colgate's is preferred for flavor over other brands tested.
So to clean your teeth thoroughly and safely, for a wake-up flavor everyone enjoys, use Colgate Dental Cream. Remember, Colgate Dental Cream cleans your breath while it cleans your teeth. With Charles Dant and the orchestra, here's Dennis singing Cole Porter's Begin the Begin.
When they begin the begin, it brings back the sound of music so tender. It brings back a night of tropical splendor. It brings back a memory evergreen. I'm with you once more under the stars, and down by the shore an orchestra's playing, and even the pond seemed to be swaying. When they begin the begin, to live it again is past all endeavor, except when that tune clutches my heart, and there we are, swearing to love forever, and promising never, never to part. What moments divine, what rapture serene, till clouds came along to disperse the joys we had tasted. And now when I hear people curse the chance that was wasted, I know but too well what they mean. So don't let them begin the begin. Let the love that was once a fire remain an ember. Let it sleep like the dead desire I only remember. they begin, the begin. Oh, yes, let them begin, the begin. Make them play till the stars that were there before return above you. Till you whisper to me once more, darling, I love you. And we suddenly know what heaven we're in when they begin, the begin. When they begin.
Friends, this winter the people of Europe face widespread starvation. And this situation concerns every American, not only for humanitarian reasons, but to protect our own freedom. For if hunger brings on a collapse of the effort to build free governments abroad, our own security will be seriously threatened. So we can help protect the peace we fought so hard to win by sending Europe enough food now. But to do this, every American must cooperate with our government, and here's how. 1, eat no meat on Tuesday. 2, eat no poultry on Thursday. 3, save a slice of bread every day. 4, waste nothing. Clean your plate at every meal. Remember, your help is urgently needed. Save wheat, save meat, save the peace. Good night, everybody, and a special good night to all my old Navy shipmates who celebrate Navy Day this coming Monday.
Remember, doctors prove the Palmolive plan brings 2 out of 3 women lovelier complexions in 14 days. And this beauty plan with Palmolive soap was tested on women with all types of skin. Dry, oily, even skin that was not clear. Yes, 36 doctors proved the 14-day Palmolive plan improves all types of skin, brings fresher, brighter, younger-looking complexions. So get Palmolive soap and start your 14-day Palmolive plan now.
This is Vern Smith reminding you that an interesting story of Dennis Day is appearing in the current issue of Movie Star Parade, now on sale. Dennis Day returns again next week, same time, same station. Join us then, won't you? Good night.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.
Joseph Schlitz Brewing Company of Milwaukee, Wisconsin presents The Halls of Ivy, starring Mr. and Mrs. Ronald Coleman.
I was curious. I tasted it. Now I know why Schlitz is the largest selling beer in America. No wonder it's the beer that made Milwaukee famous.
If you like good beer, you'll find it pays to be curious and learn about Schlitz for yourself. And now, the Halls of Ivy.
The halls of ivy that surround us here today, and we will not forget though we be far, far away.
Welcome again to Ivy. Ivy College, that is, in the town of Ivy, USA. This is a most important night for Ivy, and few realize it more than its president, Dr. William Todd Hunter Hall. In 20 minutes, Dr. Hall and his wife, the former Victoria Cromwell of the London stage, will leave for a meeting where he is to formally accept the George A. Sexton Award. Now, at the Hall home on Faculty Row...
Toddy, it's late, dear. Have you finished dressing?
Victoria, I can't seem to find my black tie. Have you any idea what it is?
Yes. You might look in the mirror.
Well, I'll admit that tie has been found in some odd places, but...
William, you have it on.
Oh. I distinctly remember not putting it on, and I refuse to believe that an ordinary black tie would be capable of crawling up on my shoulder, winding itself about my neck, and manipulating its own knot.
Did you finish your speech?
Yes, just a short while ago. It took a little longer than I'd planned. That's why I'm late.
Oh, you're not so late. Besides, it was worth it.
What was worth what?
Taking extra time on your speech. It's the best one you ever wrote.
Oh, how do you know that? You couldn't possibly have read it.
I don't have to read it.
Victoria, this is probably no time to bring it up, but is there any record of clairvoyance in your family?
Not a trace of it. Some red hair, gambling, small earlobes, things like that. But no clairvoyance. Why?
A few moments ago, you were downstairs, and I was upstairs. How did you know I had my tie on?
I heard you put it on.
You heard me put it on?
Mm-hmm.
That's strange. I've never thought of a black tie as being particularly noisy.
No, dear. But you are. Every time you struggle with a bow tie, I realize just how well-rounded your vocabulary really is. First you mumble and you mutter. Then you come right out and say,
Yes, darling. All right. Very well, I'll accept that explanation, but it leaves me to wonder if I'm not married to a beautiful and charming Sibyl. Or was that just a wild pitch with a crystal ball?
It required no supernatural powers, Doctor. Your success with your speech is written all over you.
Well, that should make an interesting social note for the Ivy News. President Hall, who accepted the George A. Sexton Award, was charmingly dressed in a suit of fine handwriting on a flouncing bond paper foundation.
You are spry. You've even forgotten to be nervous.
Nervous? Oh, my dear. On these occasions, I always have butterflies the size of vultures playing badminton in my stomach. But you're the soothing type of person who frightens such abdominal lepidoptera away. So the game seems to be ended.
Who won?
Well, who can that be?
Mr. Merriweather.
Victoria.
No, I saw him going to the Quintanans a few minutes ago. He wouldn't be this close without stopping by.
All right, well, you go and spirit him in while I get on my coat. It isn't that I want to appear inhospitable, but we really have to go in a few minutes.
Oh, this is a surprise, Mr. Merriweather. Come on in.
No, I can't stay, Mrs. Hall. Is the doctor in? I have a message for him.
Well, he'll be right back. Do sit down.
Oh, thank you. Oh, this is comfortable. You're an awfully comfortable person, Mrs. Hall. You know, if I weren't married to Mrs. Merriweather, whom I happen to love, and you weren't married to Dr. Hall, whom I greatly admire, I'm afraid I'd make an awful fool of myself over you.
Mr. Merriweather, what brings this on?
It's spring, ma'am. It's spring. It's the time of year when the man rises in a sap's veins and vice versa.
Yes, and a young man's fancy lightly turns to the things that an old man fancies. Mr. Merriweather.
Hello, Doctor, you old illusion spoiler. You're looking exceptionally well this evening. Gad, sir, I don't know how you do it. I'm not much older than you. I play golf 3 times a week. And I feel like Methuselah after a night out with the boys. And girls.
Well, after all, it isn't every evening that a college president receives a $250,000 gift.
It isn't even every other evening.
Say, how does that work, Doctor?
Well, for some reason known only to himself, Mr. George A. Sexton decided to turn philanthropist and offered this college $250,000 with which to build a laboratory for medical experiment.
Well, that's a nice package. How's it tied up?
Tied up?
Yeah, what are the strings?
Oh, that's the beautiful part of it, Mr. Merriweather. There are no strings, not even a thread.
Gad, don't tell me you found an altruistic donor.
On the contrary, an altruistic donor found Ivy. The entire sum is to be used for no other purpose than to carry on medical research for ear, nose, and throat.
No, it's as simple as that. And speaking of simple, does Wellman know about this?
Why do you ask, Mr. Merriweather?
Because Clarence is quite excited about this award, Mrs. Hall. I think he thinks he's going to get his big fat finger in the pie.
No, this is one pie that Mr. Wellman won't be able to cut to his own liking.
Well, congratulations, Doctor, on bringing the pie to Ivy.
Oh, no,
No, don't start to protest. I know it was your progressive spirit and leadership that brought Ivy to Sexton's attention. And I'm proud of you, Doctor. You're a go-getter, a keeper-inner, and a don't-let-goer. It reminds me, I really did come here with a message. A certain member of our Board of Governors, who shall remain unnamed, except by the unregenerate and the profane...
Mr. Wellman?
Your intuition is amazing, Mrs. Hall. And correct. Anyway, to get to the point, when Clarence heard I had to drop in to see the Quincannon before the meeting, he...
Isn't Quincannon coming?
No, the professor's out of town, Doctor. And Mrs. Quincannon is, in what modest people, in a burst of understatement, call an interesting condition.
No, she can't go. She's going to have a baby. She's all right. But her doctor decided she'd better have a nurse with her for the next few days.
Anyway, Doctor, the message from Happy Talk, Dreamboat Wellman, was that it is advisable for you not to be late.
I can almost hear his tone of voice.
Yeah, like a rusty file rasping on a blackboard.
You may report that you persuaded me after a bitter struggle.
Well, I've done my duty. I'm an obliging cuss. And it gave me an excuse to see you. And, Mrs. Hall, who's even prettier.
Well, we're always glad to have you drop in. And you can tell Dreamboat, Mr. Wellman, for me, that nothing in this world could make me late for that meeting. Nothing.
You go on to the car, dear. I'll get the phone.
No. We're late, Vicky. Let it ring.
Oh, no, I couldn't.
Why couldn't you? We're out of the house.
Well, but I'd be out of my mind if I didn't answer it. The suspense of wondering who it was would kill me. No, please, sorry. I'll only be a minute.
Oh, you might just as well face it. You're married to a woman. As Merriweather would say, this is something to complain about.
Sorry, William. Wait.
What is it, Vicky? What's happened?
That was Mrs. Quincannon.
Oh, has she decided that she wants to go?
Yes, she's decided she wants to go to the hospital.
Now?
Yeah, right now. I have to take her.
But where's her nurse?
Called back to the hospital on an emergency tonight. Well, it can't be helped. The professor's gone.
Of course you must go. That's a shame, darling. I'll have to receive the award without you.
I know, but there are 3 children there and no one to stay with them. It would be their cook's night out. Look, Toddy, while I take Mrs. Quincannon to the hospital, you ask the people next door to look after the children. Better still, phone the matron to send somebody over. Hello, operator. Connect me with General Hospital. What's that? Yes, it is an emergency. Thank you. Hello?
Good evening, General Hospital.
This is Dr. Hall speaking.
Dr. Hall? Are you on our staff, Doctor?
No, young lady. My degree is academic, not medical. I wish to speak to anyone in charge of housing. Excuse me, boys. Gentlemen. I'm trying to use the phone.
Oh, he won't let me be Hopalong, and I shot him first. Look,
I'm sorry, but, what did you say?
I asked Dr. Hall the name of the patient you're entering in general.
Oh, it isn't a patient, Mr. Brown. It's just 3 youngsters.
Was it an accident, Doctor?
Yes, it was an accident.
Any serious casualties?
Well,
I'm trying to tell you, Dr. Hall, that this situation is from one year's end to the next.
No, please, boys! What was that again, Mr. Brown?
Were there any casualties, Doctor?
Well, from the sound of the lethal discussion that's going on here, I think I can promise at least 2.
I didn't quite get that, Doctor. Who were the victims?
Oh, a couple of guys named Cassidy. Yeah, they must be. Look, Mr. Brown, I am Dr. Hall of Ivy College. I'm calling you as a last resort. Through entirely unavoidable circumstances, I was left to care for 3 children. I tried to get the matron, but she's gone to the movies.
Wait a sec, Doctor. Let me get this straight. You want General Hospital to babysit?
Well, I've tried everyone else in the phone book. I want just 1 room right now for 3 children so I can attend a most important function. Or better still, send a nurse who can take care of it.
David, Doc, we're filled up. Even got beds out in the hall, and there's not a spare nurse available anywhere. It's out of the question, Faye.
Yes, Mr. Brown, I see. Thank you.
Sorry, Doc.
I'm sorry, too, Mr. Tom. Terribly sorry. Well, gentlemen, boys, kids, quiet! Boys, I'm in a bad situation. I want to think. Now, will you please help me out? Please, partners.
Sure, help him out, Deadeye.
Thank you. It was just a phone call or two. Operator, will you try the matron's office again, please? She must be back by now. No, boys, no lasso, please. No, not now. You twirl that rope very well, Hoppy, but don't lasso me until I finish this call. Hello.
Hey, Two-Gun, loop him on the way back.
No, not now, please, boys. You can loop me later. Look out with that thing. Look out. Boys! Where did you get that, rope?
It was here.
Where?
Right here, on the floor.
Well, you didn't pull it out of anything, did you?
Sure, right out of the wall. And if you let go the other end of it, I'll show you some real roping.
It was a nice telephone. It was very clear. People sounded like they were in the next room. Good night, Mr. Sexton. Good night, Dr. Hall.
I was curious. I tasted it. Now I know why Schlitz is the largest selling beer in America. No wonder it's the beer that made Milwaukee famous.
Here's how one man arrived at the same conclusion. We'll return to the halls of Ivy, starring Mr. and Mrs. Ronald Coleman, as soon as we hear his story.
I'm an architect by profession and by inclination a professed booster of Schlitz beer. Now, this latter enthusiasm is something I've just recently acquired, but it's as welcome as shade on a hot Saturday afternoon. That's the kind of a day it was when I went out to look over the completion of a house I designed in the suburbs. Everything was in but the owners, and my trip was sort of a final inspection before declaring the place ready for residency. I was scrambling around the roof, checking a few construction details, when I saw a car pull up and discharge my clients in full picnic paraphernalia. They had a basket of sandwiches with them and a pail filled with cans of beer on ice. With that eagerness of most prospective homeowners, they had come for a preview of suburban living, a picnic on the terrace of the house they were so anxious to make home. And from above, I watched them break out the beer and, with a trained eye for detail, noted that the beer was Schlitz. I'd never tried Schlitz before, but the remedy for that lay just below me, on ice. I hailed the party from the roof and then climbed down to accept a can of Schlitz from the hands of my client. I'd heard that Schlitz was the largest selling beer in America, and as I tasted it, I knew why. As an architect, I have a professional man's respect for those who know their trade. As a draftsman, I can only say, no wonder they call Schlitz the beer that made Milwaukee famous.
With Dr. Hall desperately trapped with a dead telephone and 3 youngsters entrusted to his charge, we find a small but very formal meeting impatiently awaiting his arrival. Mr. Wellman is being just as destructive as usual, while Mr. Sexton and Mr. Merriweather try to make the best of a very bad situation.
From what I've learned of Dr. Hall, I feel sure that there must be extenuating circumstances which will explain...
Mr. Sexton, you are a kind and patient man. You are a man who tries to understand the weakness of his friend. You are a man
who... for heaven's sakes, Clarence, turn it off. I know perfectly well something's happened to Dr. Hall.
Merriweather, your attitude is beyond my understanding. Don't you realize the importance of this meeting to Ivy?
Certainly I do. Better than you do, I think.
Gentlemen, one of the reasons that I picked Ivy for the George Sexton Endowment was that I had heard so much about the thoughtfulness, consideration, and humanity of its president. I'm sorry to say that none of these qualities have been in evidence since my arrival.
I am in complete agreement. Please bear in mind, however, Mr. Sexton, that the Board of Governors is a group of men who are definitely...
boiled in the stuffing of their own shirts.
This is no time for levity, Merriweather.
Well, I'm sure that Dr. Hall's absence can be explained by time is limited. I feel that I've waited long enough. After all, there are such things as telephones. A message would have sufficed. If Dr. Hall's interest does not extend this far, then possibly I've made a mistake in choosing Ivy for this endowment. I suggest that we adjourn.
Mr. Sexton, please, why don't you stay in town overnight at my house?
In your house, Mr. Wellman? Well, that is kind of you, but no, thank you.
Oh, he'll be glad to take you home, Mr. Sexton. His broomstick's right outside.
Merriweather, really?
Oh, I know how you feel, Clarence. I don't feel so good myself. You're right, Mr. Sexton. Let's break it up.
I'll leave you here. I have my car and an errand to do. I'm sorry, gentlemen. Good night.
Are you still quite satisfied, Merriweather, with your choice of a president for Ivy? Your Dr. Hall has just cost us $250,000.
And until I've heard his side of it, he's worth it to this school.
I shall tell him my side of it now. I'll find him wherever he is. It is amazing to me how a man who has worked as hard for his money as you have, Merriweather, can have so little idea of the value of it.
Well, you see, we've spent our time in different ways, Clarence. While you've been learning the value of it, I've been testing the use of it. And I think I've made a few people happy with it. But I do want to congratulate you, my boy.
Oh, what?
For the one person you've made happy, Clarence. Yourself. Good night.
Oh, Victoria, thank goodness you're back.
But why couldn't you get anyone?
Look what Hopalong Cassidy did to the telephone.
Oh, how awful.
How's Mrs. Quincannon?
Oh, she's doing well, I think. When I inquired of her condition just before I left the hospital, the nurse said, we expect to pull through nicely.
Yes, it's remarkable, isn't it? No matter how badly off the patient is, the hospital always pulls through.
I never heard of a single case where a patient lost the hospital.
Vicky, Mr. Wellman just left here. I'm afraid that I'll never be able to convince him that this evening's unexpected turn was not a deliberate and diabolical plot on my part to overthrow philanthropists.
Oh, Toddy, what did that horrible old...
Vicky.
say?
Well, among other less delicate accusations, I am rude, selfish, and unappreciative. I will probably be asked to turn in my doctorate before cockcrow, collect my pay, and hit the road.
Surely after you explained why even Mr. Wellman could understand.
Victoria, if you boiled the shadow of a pigeon that had died from starvation, you would have a broth that is far richer than Mr. Wellman's understanding. Now, I gather that Mr. Sexton shares Wellman's opinion of me.
I can't believe that from such a generous man.
Ah, my dear, one of the first things you learn in dealing with philanthropists, old or new, is that a generous hand isn't always indicative of a generous nature.
Yes, I know. Oh, I almost forgot. The children.
Oh, don't worry. I handled them with dispatch, even aplomb.
It's very quiet, William. You didn't use violence.
No, certainly not. No, after Hopalong had stormed the Alamo, I read to them. Oh, there were a few tense moments over the selection of reading material. Quincannon the Smaller, for instance, held out for the collected works of A.A. Milne.
Oh, no.
Yes, if you ever stood before an audience of 3 critical children and recited, Christopher Robin goes hoppity, 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 hop.
You didn't.
I did. At the end of my rendition, Quincannon the Larger said, and I quote, "That stinks." End quote. Well, I'm afraid I agreed with him without reservation. At any rate, the final choice of comic reading material was left to me.
What was your choice, Uncle William?
A compendium of the satires of Aristophanes.
Aristophanes? Oh, is that your idea of a comic book?
Quincannon the Younger's question exactly. Victoria, Aristophanes was the very greatest of all the Greek comic writers.
I know.
Not only that, but when read aloud, his works have a sedative effect that is phenomenal. Less than 10 minutes after I started, 2 of the 3 children had wandered off to sleep.
William, you're wonderful.
Oh, it was nothing, really.
It's nothing. It's the best idea I've heard in ages. Would you care to commercialize your talent?
Oh, I much prefer to rest on my laurels.
Oh, what a shame. Hardy,
What is it?
was that little boy peeping around the window chair?
Oh, he's the one even Aristophanes couldn't put to sleep.
Oh, isn't he a little love? Who'd you belong to?
I don't know. But I wouldn't be in the least surprised to find that he holds a card in the Benevolent and Protective Order of Elves. Vicky, have you noticed anything peculiar about me? I mean, my face is of average appearance. I don't classify it as handsome, yet I don't honestly feel that it would cause a startled reaction.
Now, what on earth is this all about?
It's that child.
With a little bit of a boy? Oh, really? What'd you do?
Not a thing. That's just it. For the past 30 minutes, that youngster has sat there, not moving, not saying a word, just staring at me.
Well?
Now, have you ever had a small child fasten unwavering eyes on you? It ruins you.
Oh, you're just overwrought. With his disappointment over the endowment.
Oh, no, I'm not overwrought. I would rather face a lion in his den than the silent, unblinking stare of one small child.
No, his poor lamb. It's the one who can see you at all. Look, his eyes are glazed with sleep.
Well, that isn't my fault. I've ordered him to find a bed innumerable times. He paid absolutely no attention to anything I said. Every time I... Vicky, do my eyes deceive me? Or is that little boy actually coming towards me? What's he going to do?
Oh, look, he wants to get in your lap.
Well...
Help him, dear. Lift him up.
Well, I said very well. There you are, young fellow. Up you go.
Don't look so alarmed, darling. You won't hurt you.
Oh, Victoria, please give me credit for at least a minimum of intelligence in regard to... now, what do I do?
Well, he doesn't do anything.
Well...
He's untalkative, isn't he?
Admirably so. Ah, how peaceful it is now. I was thinking...
Of what, dear?
My speech. The one I didn't give in acceptance of the foundation Ivy didn't get. It was a nice speech. Mr. Sexton, it is with great humility that I accept this award in behalf of... And in conclusion, sir, I thank you. Not for myself, although my appreciation is unlimited. Not even for the students who will benefit by your generosity. Their success will be your thanks. But for the very young, the small child like the one here on my lap, who will have the opportunity to grow up in a better world because of men like you.
No, Toddy. It's too sad Mr. Sexton couldn't have heard that. He was magnificent.
Yes, Dr. Hall, it was.
Well, thank you.
And I believe this is the first time I've ever given an endowment after an acceptance speech. But here you are, Doctor. Please accept my certified check.
I thank you, but you'll have to excuse me, sir, but I'm a little confused.
And I'm a bit tardy in introducing myself. My name is Sexton, Tobias Sexton.
Oh.
How do you do, Mr. Sexton? This is my wife.
How do you do, Mr. Sexton?
What brings you to the Quincannons, Mr. Sexton?
I came to pick up my son. I must confess that I never expected to find you as a babysitter, Doctor. But it gives me a nice, warm feeling.
Well, I don't mind telling you, I felt a little warm myself the earlier part of this evening. Not so much because of the predicament in which I found myself, but, well, because I regretted what must have seemed to you appalling rudeness. Did you say you came to pick up your son?
Yes. Mrs. Quincannon kindly offered to have her nurse take care of George for me during the meeting.
George? Oh, George A. Sexton, but of course.
I think I needn't have hurried back. He looks quite comfortable there on your lap, Doctor. That's most unusual. He's very shy.
Oh, you're George Sexton, little fellow. You've taken quite strongly to my husband, haven't you?
So have I, Mrs. Hall. Doctor, I hereby withdraw all the things I thought about you this evening when you didn't show up. It occurs to me again that there are some things that money can't buy.
Yes, there is a point where purchasing power stops.
You can't buy appreciation. You can't buy the tradition that exists here at Ivy.
No, but they can be given to you through your son. He'll be at Ivy, of course.
No, Doctor. I have other plans for George. He'll do all right, but he'll never go to Ivy.
Not coming to Ivy? But surely you want your son.
It's a good school.
I know that, Mrs. Hall. It's a fine school, but... Well, there are other things that money can't buy. And I've spent thousands of dollars trying to buy them.
What things do you mean?
Hearing and speech, Dr. Hall. You see, George was born without speech or hearing.
Mr. Sexton, what you've done today will, I think, speak for him. And he'll hear it in his heart for the rest of his life.
I was curious. I tasted it. Now I know why Schlitz is the largest selling beer in America. No wonder it's the beer that made Milwaukee famous.
And here again are Mr. and Mrs. Ronald Coleman.
Good night, everyone.
Be sure to see Ronald Coleman's latest picture, Champagne for Caesar. We'll be seeing you next week at this time at the Halls of Ivy, starring Mr. and Mrs. Ronald Coleman. The other players were Willard Waterman, Herbert Butterfield, Charles Seal, Johnny McGovern, Jeffrey Silver, Herbert Vigran, and Gene Vanderpyle. Tonight's script was written by Cameron Blake and Don Quinn. Our music was composed and conducted by Henry Russell. The Halls of Ivy was created by Don Quinn, directed by Nat Wolf, and presented by the Joseph Schlitz Brewing Company of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Ken Carpenter speaking.
Coming up, it's The Great Gildersleeve on NBC.
It isn't Ma Perkins, kiddies.
The Fred Allen Show, with Fred's guest Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy. And the biggest court trial of the year, Charlie McCarthy versus Fred Allen. Portland Hopper, Minerva Pius as Mrs. Nussbaum, the DeMarco sisters, and Al Goodman and his orchestra. And for those who weren't at my christening, my name is Kenny Delmar.
Well, this past week, the National Federation of Business and Professional Women's Clubs met to discuss the problem of post-war jobs for women. And so our question is, how do you think women will fit into the post-war business world?
Shall we go?
As one headache said to the other headache, let's take a powder. It's so quiet and restful here in Allen's Alley, Portland. But I can put a stop to that just by knocking on the senator's door.
Somebody knock.
Yes,
Claghorn's the name, Senator Claghorn.
I know that.
I'm from the South, way down south.
Every week.
Where I come from, when we say cotton, we don't mean no movie actor.
Now, wait a minute. Look.
But don't butt in, son.
Well,
Stop blabbing.
I'm not trying to butt in.
Keep interrupting. Try listening.
Well,
I mean.
If I could only get a word.
Don't give me no Gettysburg Address, son.
Now, look. Senator, slow down a minute, if you will, please. You've only 2 more years in office. What is your opinion of women in the post-war business world?
It's got us worried, son. Senator Glass is all broken up.
Well, then you...
Glass is broken. That's a joke, son. That's witty.
Well, I know it.
That's real Southern humor.
I sensed that it was real Southern humor. I'll go down there and enjoy it some week.
You ain't very quick, are you?
Oh, now look. Senator, what do you, as man to man, or as man to what I am, what do you think about women going into business?
I say let them go into business.
Fine.
Women can be politicians.
Women can be bartenders.
Good.
Bartenders, that is.
Yes.
A woman can even be president.
Good.
But there's one thing a woman can never be, son.
A woman can never be?
The father of our country.
Go along, that is. Well, the senator has an answer for everything, even before you ask him. Say, I wonder if Titus Moody is in tonight.
Howdy, Bub.
Well, Mr. Moody, how do you feel about women working?
Oh, some women overdo it, Bub.
Overdo the working? You're speaking from experience?
Yeah. For 20 years, my wife's been raising chickens.
And she's overdoing it?
She's in the hen house morning, noon, and night.
I see.
One morning, the rooster was sick.
Yes?
My wife got up and crowed, so the hens would know the sun was coming up.
Well, that is overdoing it, isn't it?
Last week, my setting hen got a dizzy spell and fell off the nest.
Yes?
My wife sat on the nest day and night till this morning.
What happened?
Have a cigar, Bub?
A cigar?
Yep. I'm a pupper.
A pupper, eh?
10 of the prettiest Plymouth Rocks I ever seen.
Go on, sir. Well, Mr. Moody owes me 9 cigars. Well, I think I'll try this next door.
No?
Ah, Mrs. Nussbaum again.
You were expecting maybe Dinah Schnotter?
Not necessarily. Tell me, Mrs. Ann, how do you feel about women working?
On account of working, I am losing mine appeal.
Your appeal, huh? How do you mean?
When I'm 19, I'm having beautiful legs.
You had beautiful limbs, huh?
They are calling me the Dietrich of the Lancaster.
Oh, really? Uh-huh.
Then I'm taking a job in an old girl orchestra.
Not Spitalny.
Oh, no.
No?
Blossom Blomberg and her Brownsville Boogie Woogie Babies.
Good.
I am playing sitting down the cello.
Oh, the cello, huh?
For 5 years, every night, I'm sitting between my knees the cello.
For 5 years.
One night, I'm looking on my beautiful legs in the mirror. Yes.
You mean
From playing the cello, I am bow-legged.
Right.
It's looking like incessantly I am riding a horse.
And today with your bow legs?
Instead of the Dietrich of the Lancaster.
Yes?
They are calling me Hop-Along Nussbaum.
Well, here we are at the last house in the alley. I wonder if anyone's home here tonight.
Oh, it's you again.
Ah, McGee and McGee are songwriters. What's new, boys?
We got a great mother song. It's a sensation.
What is your mother song called?
You remind me of my mother because you are my mother. Mother, oh mother of mine.
Now, wait a minute. You ought to write something for the senator, boys, when you get a chance. Look, fellas, tonight I'm down here in Allen's Alley getting reactions to women working.
We got just the song you want.
About women working, how does it go?
Hit it, Jim. My grandma's working on the railroad. My mother drives a hack. My sisters help her to a sandhog. My aunt's a steeplejack. My mother-in-law is now a bookie. But you won't hear me sob, 'cause I'll be leading the life of Riley when I get my wife a job.
Thank you. And now, from the musically ridiculous McGee and McGee, we go to the melodic sublime, the 5 DeMarco sisters. With Maestro Al Goodman safely atop his podium conducting, the kids sing California Sunbeam.
Got me a seat aboard the California Sunbeam. From all that I hear, the weather is clear, and heaven's waiting at the other end. I ain't in the street to ride the California Sunbeam. Got coffee and cake, keep me awake. Till I see heaven at the other end. Don't know whether it's mild or whether it's the morning dark. Do-do-do. Holding back the summer, we can hear the old fella singing. Do-do-do-do. Nothing can beat the good old California sunbeam. In a minute or two, we'll be speaking out through the Milky Way across the Silky Farm. Do-do-do-do, my friend. Here's where monotony ends. Oh, California sunbeam, fly me to my baby back home. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Holy mackerel, we can hear the old bells singing. Nothing can beat that California sunbeam. In a minute or two, we'll be speaking out through the Milky Way across the Silky Farm. Doodly-doodly-doo, my friend. Here's where monotony ends. California sunbeam, fly me to my baby back home.
Lift up your head and shout, there's gonna be a great day. Angels in the sky promise that by and by there's gonna be a great day. Gabriel will warn you some early morn, you will hear it on. Truly soon, it's not far away. Hold up your hands and say, there's gonna be a great day.
Goodman has just made a first payment on I'll Buy That Dream. It was hardly worth his while going to sleep to get so little music.
Mr. Allen.
Yes, Portland?
Did Charlie McCarthy sue you last week?
Did he sue me? Yes, Portland. My trial was bigger than the Dreyfus case. Dreyfus was there and told me himself through an old interpreter.
What happened?
Well, last Sunday, as you remember, Charlie McCarthy's lawyer served me with a subpoena. I got down to the courtroom even before the judge. And as I came in, I saw a mob of reporters around McCarthy. The reporters were saying...
How you handle the crowd? How much time are you going, Alan?
Gentlemen, please, one at a time.
One
statement, Mr. McCarthy, please.
Yeah, well, just tell the world I'm a poor defenseless lad looking to the court for justice. Now, that ain't looking on that. Poor defenseless lad. There won't be a dry eye in the joint here.
Say, isn't it Fred Allen coming?
Yeah, that's the swindler. I'll habeas his corpus. I'll mow him down.
Now close that knothole you're talking through, McCarthy, or I'll pull your arms off and use them for chopsticks.
Go peddle your margarine, baggy face.
Now, quiet. If I give you a hot fruit from the knees down, you'll be charcoal.
Your father's mustache.
Yeah, your father's mustache. So you can't.
Quiet. The judge is coming into court.
Hear ye, the court will rise. His Honor Judge McKeester.
Order in the court. What's the first case?
Charlie McCarthy versus Fred Allen.
Here, let's get going. What's the charge?
The plaintiff McCarthy claims that after he auditioned with Allen, the defendant Allen took the show alone, thereby swindling, mulking, bilking, and diddling said plaintiff out of his rightful share of the profit. The plaintiff is suing for damage. He alleges
I've heard enough. McCarthy, take that stand.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you the plaintiff?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm Charlie McCarthy.
Why, you're only a little kid.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm just a poor defenseless lad looking to the court for justice. How am I doing, Murder? Great.
Is it the defendant in court?
That's the skunk over there, Your
Now,
Honor.
who's a skunk? Why, you woodpecker's hors d'oeuvre.
Your father's goatee.
Your mother's sideburn.
What do you think this is, a longshoreman's meeting?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. This big bully frightened me.
Your Honor?
Shut up, you. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, chiseling this poor innocent kid out of his money.
Your Honor,
Quiet. You're guilty, Ellen.
Guilty? You haven't even tried the case yet.
Oh, yeah? It'll only take a minute, wise guy. Hey, kid, what happened?
Well, he gave me the Cornish hug.
Why, that dirty sneak thief.
Yes.
Have you got any witnesses, kid?
Yes, Your Honor. Ray Noble.
Ray Noble in court?
Yes, here I jolly well have, and all that sort of judicial nonsense, you know.
Mr. Noble, where were you on the night of October 21st?
Well, frankly, I don't recall, old prune. But while I have the floor, I would like to say a few words about continuing Lend-Lease. Now,
I object. Pipe down. Proceed, kid.
Ray?
Yes, Charlie.
Remember the night this sneak Allen came over to our program?
Do I?
Yeah.
Why, that was the night I took out that debutante I met at the Automat.
Yeah.
Yes, we made a night of it.
Yeah.
Liggets, you know, to all hours. And then a minuet or two at Roseland.
Yeah.
And then we topped it off with a ride through Central Park at dawn. Charlie, I put my arms around her.
I object.
Amazing. That's exactly what she did, old bun. I don't...
Good work, Ray. Good work.
Yeah, are you through with the witness, McCarthy?
Yes, Your Honor. You're a witness, Allen.
Good. Now, Mr. Noble, isn't it true...
Next witness.
Next witness? I haven't even had a chance...
One more blab out of you, big mouth. One more blab and I'll throw you in the clink.
I'm being railroaded.
Why, if I had something on under this robe, I'd take it off and come down there.
I dare you to.
Quiet. I got a good mind to try putting me gravel in your mouth for size. Next witness.
I guess that's me, Mr. Bergen.
That's you.
Yeah, the witness looks as if he's half asleep.
Well, I just woke up. Where am I?
You're in court.
Oh, well, guilty, Your Honor.
You ain't on trial, stupid. What's your name?
Well, the name is, you sort of caught me off my guard, Mortimer Snurd, yeah.
Yeah, raise your right hand.
Yeah, the right hand, which is right hand? Well, point it out now, raise it. All right.
You promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
No, sir. No, wait a minute. Nobody's going to trap me.
I object. Your Honor, May I ask this witness just one question?
Well, do you think you can handle him, Snide?
Let me at him, Judge. He's my meat.
Mortimer Snerd, isn't it a fact that you are unfit to testify?
Well, I don't...
Isn't it common knowledge that you are a chowderhead?
No.
A moron junior grade? And a dehydrated nincompoop?
Hey, Mr. Bergen, yeah, he's got me cornered, hasn't he?
Judge, if this is a trial... Quiet, Pet. Stand down, Snoid.
Oh, I did the best I could, Mr. Bergen. Yes, I know. He was just too quick for me.
It's nice going, Snoid. This testimony's been pretty damaging, Alan. Before I sentence this twink, Mr. McCarthy, how about you summing up just for the record?
Well, Your Honor, my story is the oft-told tale. The innocent youth led astray by the honeyed words of a chiseling lowlife.
I object! Objection ignored! Proceed, kid.
Thank you. I was happy. I had a kind friend in Mr. Bergen. And then this snake, this dirty...
I object! Save your breath, Alan. Pour it on, kid.
I arranged for us to meet a sponsor, and then this...
And then, Your Honor, and then we auditioned. The sponsor said that this talking stump had absolutely no talent. So naturally, I got the job.
Quiet, Alan, quiet. You got him in the hot seat, kid. Turn on the juice.
Humiliated, broken in spirits, I went back to my first and only friend, Mr. Bergen.
Dear Charlie.
Dear Edgar.
Oh, this is ridiculous. I object. Order in the court. One more peep out of you, Alan, and I'm taking off this robe regardless. I dare you, Judge. What damages are you asking, McCarthy?
Well, I was, you see, I was swindled out of the program.
Yeah?
And I was libeled and slandered.
Yeah?
My reputation was damaged beyond words and beyond repair.
How much do you want, kid?
Well, would $14 be too much, Your Honor?
$14? You got this jerk over a barrel. Make it a round number, $200.
$200? Benedict Arnold got a fairer trial than this.
Order in the court. Alan, I'm finding you guilty. I'm awarding the kid $200.
But, Your Honor...
Yeah, 200 spankers. Meathead, get it up, get it up.
But, Judge, before you stands no hardened criminal. I have no record. As a boy in Boston, my father was known as Honest Fred. I was Honest Fred II.
Honest Fred? And you say you come from Boston?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you the little Fred Allen who used to live in the stable back of Paul Revere's house?
Yes, Judge McKeester.
Honest Fred, don't you recognize me?
No, Judge.
Wait, I'll take these 2 payoffs. There. You know me now?
Pinhead McKeester.
Hiya, Freddy, old boy.
Gosh, Pinhead, you a judge?
Yeah, ain't it a laugh?
Pinhead McKeester.
Yeah, say Fred about that money I still owe
you. Oh, forget it, Pinhead. What's mine is yours.
Ah, gee, Fred, you're okay.
Your Honor,
Shut up, you little runt. You know, one more outvoice out of you, and I'll have you sawed up into dominoes.
Don't look now, Bergen, but something happened to that $200 on the face.
Judge, I have important evidence.
Yes, Your Honor, I've been thinking perhaps this whole suit was too hasty. Let's forget the whole thing.
No, he can't, Your Honor. He can't drop this case.
No?
I have a paper here, Judge.
Oh, Fred, let bygones be bygones. Now, come on, all together, huh? Should old acquaintance...
Quiet!
No?
Go ahead, Honest Fred.
I will prove, Your Honor. I will prove, Your Honor, that Charlie McCarthy is not a poor, defenseless lad. Charlie McCarthy is the most dangerous mind in America today.
Should old acquaintance...
Quiet! Quiet! Mr. Bergen, did you know McCarthy was plotting a campaign to dominate the entire radio industry?
Not little old me, no.
Yes, little old subversive you. You don't know, Charlie McCarthy, that I found this document with your nefarious plan in your dressing room.
Give me that paper, Charlie. Should old acquaintance...
Quiet! Quiet. Listen to this, Edgar, and I quote from Charlie McCarthy's secret white paper here. The Charlie McCarthy Radio Empire.
Should all acquaintance be like a...
Quiet, you monopolist.
Go ahead, Fred. Go ahead.
From there, McCarthy was going to muscle in on the entire radio industry, Edgar. Listen to this lineup of radio shows he had planned. We the McCarthys, Young Dr. McCarthy, Charlie's Other Wife, One Man's McCarthy, Just Plain Charlie, McCarthy Faces Life, Breakfast with Charlie. Edgar, it goes right down the line to News with Gabriel McCarthy.
It's so lovely out. I think I'll take a ramble into Wildwood. Gangway!
Grab him, bailiff. Bring the little crumb here to the bar of justice.
Your Honor, the Charlie McCarthy cartel is too big for this court. It's a case for the FBI.
Not a federal rap, fellas. Don't call John Edgar.
A foul, conniving fiend who would take over the entire radio industry, ruthlessly tramping all in his path.
Dear Edgar, dear Mr. Bergen.
Quiet, you monster.
McCarthy, I'm holding you on federal charges of violating the Sherman Antitrust Act, violating the principles of the San Francisco Conference, and conspiring to start another war.
Bergen, Allen, mercy, Judge. Mercy.
Yeah, what'll I do with him, honest Fred? Give him life?
Well, I'm not vindictive, Pinhead. Let Mr. Bergen decide his punishment.
Okay. McCarthy, let this be a lesson to you. I'm paroling you into custody of Mr. Bergen. Case dismissed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
Now, Charlie, from now on, you're going to think of nothing but your schoolwork.
Yes, sir.
And you're going to respect your elders.
Always, Mr. Bergen.
And you're going to apologize to Mr. Allen.
I apologize to that dirty rat.
Now, why? I'll split you up the middle and make you a clothespin, young man.
Father's mustache.
Oh, your grandmother's cake. You can't pull that stuff on me. No. Now, wait a minute. Let him do it. I've got my water wings here.
Fred Allen will be back again next week at the same time. This is the Armed Forces Radio Service.